love. No one else can make me feel this way. Can't you see I'm falling in love? No one else can make me feel this way. Even now, oh, even now, even now,
Do see the engine, man. Prince of Alter.
Yeah, you're talking earlier about that era, the 2015 to 2017 era, and the kind of songs those guys were making. And I absolutely agree with you. Special records, like, you know. And one thing I loved about them was I loved like the fact that they didn't really care about how popular they were or not. Like they were
Yeah,
just doing their thing, just doing music, amazing music, you
that
know.
era.
And I think in art, when you are locked in art, right, and you don't really care, you know, you create the best things, you know.
Yeah, true that. That era was one of the most.
It's one of the most exciting era in modern Nigerian music, right? Like in
Yeah,
terms of that era made us feel,
yeah.
you
These
know.
were the kids that really introduced streaming to Nigeria because they're using
Yeah,
SoundCloud. They're not even sending their songs to any blog
so
or
any blog,
any
yeah,
any gatekeeper. Like fuck it,
true,
these are our fans. We'll push it out there. The music
yeah,
was so diverse, so experimental, so progressive. Like no fam, those days going to 90s baby. I just seen guys just rocking out, not giving a fuck whether only 5 people turned up or only 10 people listened to
yeah,
their songs. Was very innocent and this thing. I think the fame later robbed them of their innocence. I think
yeah.
the popularity later did, and the way music also switched with the boy eras. I call it the boy eras. The Fireboys, the Rebels, the Joe
Joe
Boys,
Boy.
the Omah Lays. They took it to another level, and but that period of 016, 015 to like 018, bro, they were killing it. As a tastemaker, I love the records they dropped during that period from Santi, Odunsi, and the rest. Tay, unbelievable music.
Unbelievable music. That's a great way to describe it, to be very
Yeah.
honest. See, guys, very inclusive. That era was also very inclusive. One thing I enjoyed about that era is while you had like some of the flagship guys, right? So like the Donleys, Odusis, the
Yeah.
Santis, right? You had other people who enjoyed almost the same kind of like reverence and relevance, right?
Hmm.
So whether it was Omax or it was what's the name of the guy who sang Freaky?
Um, Freaky is Santi, but I know the guy you're talking about.
No, there's another Freaky, right?
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I don't know if what's his name? He's a Southwesterner. Ah, God, I can't remember the guy's name. But the guy was like he was also like big,
Okay.
I'll try and pull out his name. Oh, he was also equally big, and so many other people, Wavy the creator,
We've
Maybe the creator. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and just Damien Nero, people were just doing R&B,
yeah, a lot of
Freddie
R&B.
Packins.
I love
A lot of
R&B. I can
R&B.
remember. I remember
Yeah.
the. I remember where I was at the office the first time I listened to Tay. That
Hmm.
Tay's album. The
Passport.
Passport.
Oh God, I've missed.
It was I won't lie. It was
I
Ayoda put
couldn't
me up on
understand
Passport.
how someone could be that talented. Like
I'm
the
like, bro,
quality.
who is this kid? Who is
Who
this kid?
is this?
Yeah.
Fam.
Man.
It was in fact
I think it came at. It came at. I think Tay. People like Tay came out. Well, everything happens at their own time. But
yeah,
I think there was sort of a Nigerian era of R&B. I
yeah.
can't place it. Was it the Dari era or the Banky era? I'm not talking about the quality of albums or who had more impact in music generally. I'm just saying who was the biggest proponent of R&B? Who is the biggest proponent of R&B between Dari and Banky W?
Come.
I think it's both of them.
That's an academic discourse. Oh.
It's
And let's
true.
not
It's
forget,
true.
let's not forget Popley. Popley did a
And
lot.
popular. I wanted to talk about popular because there's a time that because
Yeah.
Nigerian R&B is no longer a thing because we've merged everything into like Afrobeat, R&B, everything is just too. But then there was like R&B. Who remember the Femi? Who's Femi? The sing? What's his name again?
Capital Femi.
Capital Femi. Like there was a time when R&B
Ah,
like had this. You know, and if Tay
Bro,
was in that era, I think
no.
he would have gone mainstream
Yeah.
because at that time people loved a Nigerian R&B because we were still
We,
trying to like have a
yeah.
what Afrobeat has done to us is that Afrobeat has given us an identity. So now we can relate with music that belongs to us. But
Yeah.
then we needed something close to hip hop or R&B. Do you remember?
Yeah. Yeah.
For us to like feel related, like relatable and familiar with it, and that's what the likes of Dari. I remember the girl. You're not the girl I used to know. I remember how big it was, like the video, everything. You know, I feel like if Tay was around that era, he would have been as popular as Dari, at least. That's how I think
True that.
about it.
True that. Let's not also forget Style Plus. Those boys were monsters.
Thank you. Oh, more Snipe Plus
And
was.
back,
Thank you.
even going back a few years, Plantation Boys, like
Yeah, yeah,
4K.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Those were
That's
like
true.
Arab. Arabi has had some great moments. And when Odusi
Yeah,
and is it Nonso Amadi or Tay that did the group project, the War EP?
No, so Amadu and Odusi.
But that's a slept on project. In terms of like top five R&B projects,
damn.
that what those boys were doing, they were really
Yeah,
going in. They were going in, man.
I played that project this morning. That was what made me. That was what made me hit you guys up in the WhatsApp
Yeah,
group. That's
yeah.
what it was. The War EP I was listening to. That was. Don't let me love
love
you.
you,
Don't let me
me
love
love you.
you. I just
I don't
wanna
wanna
love you.
love you.
What those guys were playing with at that time.
Strix
I,
was
I,
too
I
mad.
don't know how. Yeah, I don't know how they did it. I don't know how they
Yeah,
did it.
Yeah, I think it was
yeah.
just that
See
power of community
that
they had that
that
really
whole
gave them
era.
that confidence.
Yeah, but yeah, the community is one thing, right? Like the artistry. Like how do you wake up and record? How does Santi wake up and record like those records?
Yeah, those guys are baffling, especially Santi and Odusi, because you can never
Yeah.
place them. Like you can never
You,
know what
you,
an Odusi's next project sound going to sound like.
True,
His first
true.
album, he went 80s disco. He went Chris Okotie on us. He was giving us disco music.
hmm.
Like I don't even get. Santi will go and do anime. He will do Japanese anime. Come back and do 90s dance or pop. I'm like, you guys are bro. You guys are. It's just weird. I
How,
don't really.
how how does Santi record Freaky? Like like how do you record
I
a
think that's
record like that?
sorry to say. I'm not saying that what he has dropped recently is not good, but that Santi, that freaky that era, God, Santi was a menace. He's
How do
what
you
Burna
record
Boy.
a
You
record
know what
like
Burna
that?
Boy is to Nigerian music. That's what Santi
Yeah.
was out there that time. Fuck, flaming.
And
No,
if
the
you're
boy.
feeling on a real one,
Mm,
it does have
yeah,
be what you gonna know. Oh
the guy,
God.
this guy that bridge that took that hook. Oh
Yes.
my
Yeah.
lord,
Yeah. The hook
and
is
that's an
crazy.
hotel OG too. Many people don't know. Yeah, bridge is an hotel
Of
OG.
course. Shout
Yeah,
out to LOS.
LOS.
Shout out to LOS. Then of course, my record,
Which one?
and Rapid Fire.
Oh,
It's a classic.
that
Classic.
song, bro.
It's a classic.
That song
Rapid
introduced
Fire.
Amari
It's a
to me.
classic.
Oh, that is
Yeah.
one of Amari's hardest songs. She floated on that song. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Rapid Fire. Another one. Rapid Fire. Rapid. The crazy thing about Rapid Fire is that it's packed. It has Shane Eagle, Tommy Agape, and
Yeah,
Amari, right? Like
yeah.
four
Yeah.
people on the record. Santi's doing his thing, and they all came with their individual styles. I like see. Tommy Agape is one person I feel like. So there are a couple of them, right? I think Tommy Agape, Eziemela, those
Mm,
two, like, when you talk about like R&B chicks
yeah,
that are talented, super talented, right?
Yeah.
And then very visually appealing,
Appealing.
mm,
Yeah.
right? So they use like the aesthetics around them. They know how to like, how will I put it? They know how to conjure the sexiness around their music and translate into like visual appeal as well,
Yeah.
right? It's amazing. Toma Agape, just like what she took on that record, she just feel like a rapid fire. She just took like a bridge,
yeah.
and if you go and listen to like her own music as well, she's done amazing. There's a record she did on the Show Them Camp, one of the Show Them Camp albums that has Poe on it. Amazing. Everywhere she's been is amazing. Then of course, Eziemela, like from when she started dropping many years ago
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
Point Records, and
Yeah.
the thing is that, so here's what I think. I think like commercialization and just money corrupts like art
Yeah.
every
It's
time.
true.
Yeah,
It's true.
You
yeah.
know, it
It's
corrupts.
true.
And when I mean art, the art of anything, the art of football, the art of what we're experiencing in football today that we're always complaining, VAR, all these things,
Mm.
it's just
It's
it
all
has
because
just
of
been
money,
corrupted. The
drama.
true art
Yeah.
Yeah.
has been corrupted,
There's always a
you know.
golden age. Then after that golden age is not the era of commercialization. We had it in hip
Yes.
hop, the golden era of hip hop. We have it even in hotel. They are still doing hotel today, but the golden era of hotel where it was like drop any fucking song, and if it doesn't
Yeah.
work, it doesn't work. Yeah, so that's how it is in life. The innocence will be
Fa-
rubbed off because of money.
Fashion.
Yeah.
Fashion. That's what I was trying to remember.
Oh yeah,
Frankie.
fashion
Remember
on,
that
fashion
record?
on. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. He featured means on the record.
yeah. I want some music
Yeah.
yesterday.
So
Sef.
I'll shout out to you. You tell us, you give us you give us your event reports. You still give us event reports. But yeah, man. So just to maybe we're just a bunch of old guys that just because
Maybe.
here's what I also feel, right? Because everything is contextual, right? 10 years from now, there's someone who's experiencing all these things for the first time
Yeah,
and is going to call this era a golden era.
it is a
Yeah.
golden era
Right?
now. That bubble was a
Yes.
Because
golden era.
yeah, I think every era is a golden era, but some are just more golden than the others. The
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
And
2006
it just all
ringtone
depends on your
era
experience.
So
and
this is based on
perspective, right?
experience. Yeah, yeah.
The
Because there's some people that tell you
2006.
in hip hop that
Mm-hmm.
they prefer the late 90s, early 20s hip hop, and they can't
Yep.
understand the late 80s, early 90s hip hop. Like, what's that? So
Mm-hmm.
every generation will choose their own golden era, I guess.
That's 100. The 2006 ringtone era that we hate,
Um,
right? Now the era is being heralded as a golden era for like southern hip hop
hip hop.
Music,
music.
hip
Yeah,
hop, hip hop.
The
yeah.
Yeah.
era of Jeezy, Ti, Ludacris,
Luda.
Lil Wayne, when Lil Wayne started his run,
Yeah.
Hot Boys, etc, etc, right? It's now regarded as man, what they call them, D4L, franchise boys,
Boys.
been
Yeah.
with it, rock with it, all those
Yeah.
things. People are now sampling music that came from that era.
Lil Jon
Yeah.
and them. Yeah.
Do you understand? Lil
Yeah.
Jon, look at what's his name? The guy from
Can,
Memphis.
can I make a confession?
Huh.
When year dropped, I hated it. I was like, what the fuck is Usher doing? Like,
When
I
you when
don't.
you heard which record?
Yeah, yeah, by Usher. I'm like, bro.
Oh, so that was no pun intended. Can I make a confession?
Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. Bars, bars. Yeah. It was
You
later
didn't like
because radio slammed it so much that I was like, I finally get this song. Now that this song is hard. This song is hard. But this was Usher, not the song with Lil Jon. Me, my hip hop head elements. Like, out of every person, guy, you work with Jermaine Dupri, you work with Puffy. These are heralded hip hop heads. Then yeah,
Yeah,
that's what you guys gotta do Lil Jon. Come on.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
was listening
it
to
worked.
one of the Rap Radar podcasts, right? And they had JD on it,
Yeah,
and JD was saying that a lot of like R&B guys don't like Usher and him because they ruined R&B.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
then Elliot asked him, "How did you guys ruin R&B?" He said, "No, how they were singing it. That Usher was the one that started the sing rapping thing.
yeah.
While everybody used to just sing, Usher was one that kind of get in the club, man. Na, 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 ee, na,
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
na, 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 like nobody was singing like that. It was
Yeah,
Usher that started that. Oh, I'm an R&B guy, but I'm going to sing rap on records, and it kind of took over. Then them Chris Brown, Neo, all those guys just
uh,
Yeah.
picked it up
Chris
from
Brown
there.
was the king. Chris Brown is the king of that one.
Yeah, because that's the king. I think Ari Kelly had like a lot of hip hop elements in R&B. I think
Yeah, but
he
his own was
was
like very separate, right?
very exactly. Usher was definitely the one who came to change it. Then Chris Brown now just took it to a whole nother level,
The
especially
actually,
after he was cancelled from like pop radio.
yeah,
Yeah.
People don't know that Chris Brown was very pop, like his first and second album. Even the
Yes,
third
now.
album, even the graffiti album after the whole
bro.
incident, he was still like pop.
See,
They
see,
didn't allow him. It was like, you know what?
Chris
He
Brown
went
said,
Bad.
over.
I'm a
"Fuck
bad
you,
boy. Let me just go.
call me,
He
call
And
me
he did
Tiger,
this
call
is
me Tiger, call me Lil Wayne, call me all the baddest
exactly
rappers."
Tiger Lewin. Come in, guys. Let's do this. And that was
Hip
how
hop,
he
hip hop
changed.
saved, hip
Yeah,
hop saved Chris Brown's career. Hip hop saved
yeah.
his
Hip hop
career.
saved Chris Brown. Yeah, easily. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
hip hop saved his
Yeah.
career
True.
easily.
And
Yeah,
shout out
easily.
to Kevin McCall as well.
Yeah, yeah, for a
Thank
minute.
you. He was the one that wrote. He was the one that wrote this is too. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Do you know the
That's
R.
true.
Kelly song that makes me go mad? Like makes me go like, how did he think of this?
I
Was this
wish.
song? No. Did you ever think?
Nah,
Did
that's
you ever?
crazy.
You
Damn,
know why?
that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Because using
97.
yeah, that song had a rap hook. You are a singer, and the song has a rap hook. Like who
Yeah.
does that?
Did you ever
You not
think
put
you
Nas
would
on
this
it.
rich?
Oh my
Did you
lord.
ever think you would this click? Did you ever think you get these times? Get
I did
it?
think with the 50
See,
clown.
no, no, no. Let me tell you. I mean, we won't talk about,
He should
other
have not been
crazy
named.
things here.
Yeah.
But I just want to say, Mr. Sylvester is one person that nobody's going to go toe to toe with in a
Yeah,
what
yeah,
they call
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
what they call that
Versus
versus.
versus
Nah, you
thing, yeah.
can't go Sylvester, Robert Sylvester Kelly.
Bro, his 90s records will kill you. Don't even go to 2000s. His 90s record will flame you.
Mars was a problem.
What's the problem?
When
Yeah.
it's
Literally,
done, you
both
will not.
ends.
When it's done, you will not do. You saved me.
Yes.
You
That
gave
guy was a
me a
lunatic.
second chance. Is
Bro,
is actually a crazy person.
He's
that
a
guy was
crazy person.
he was dipping into the church and strip clubs at the same time. He will do
Yeah,
ignition.
no,
Guys,
They will not do.
guys, we've not introduced this episode of the podcast.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Lead
I'm sorry.
All
researcher,
right.
please go
You are
ahead.
badly behaved.
No, no, you guys, you are like the anchor of this show.
Okay.
Don't you ever forget, please. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Now,
All right.
And don't you ever forget. All right, man. You're welcome to Loose Talk Podcast, your weekly dose of everything pop culture, yarns, motivation, anyhow, where you want to take
Anyhow
and
you want them.
anyhow, where you no be anyhow, dollar don't enter, almost enter
Okay.
2000 now.
Okay. Okay. Sorry. Sorry.
no,
Sorry.
no,
Uh,
we are winning on his
it's coming
mandate.
down.
One
It's coming
six
down.
on his mandate. Next week, 1-2 on his mandate, we shall stand.
Shout out to you people on Binance. Shout out to y'all.
But that's not the finance
Um,
again. No.
but yeah, thank you guys for rocking with us. I want to give a quick shout out. Shout out to everybody first of all. Shout out to you guys, Ayo, Steve. Shout out to you guys,
Thank
and
you.
shout
Thank
out
you. Thank you for
for
the shout out.
yeah, shout
And
out
thank
to
you for recognizing us. It's been long that anybody recognized me for anything.
yeah, and all the paving of the way you've been paving, and nobody
Yeah.
has been able
Thank
to
you
do it.
so
Let's
much.
let's give
Thank you.
everybody
Thank you for
credit.
that. I
So that
appreciate it.
10 years from now, we'll not go on that. We'll not go on any Instagram live. I will not be vexing with anybody. Please, I beg.
Yeah,
Everybody,
I
No,
wouldn't
no,
want to. I wouldn't want to be. I wouldn't want to be that.
nah.
There's a set. Sorry if you've not finished introducing the podcast, but there's a certain element of L mentality that comes with just being that whiny, grumpy old guy that's always
Yeah.
complaining about things.
mhm.
Like I don't like the look at all of Idris or any other every other person just
Let me let
seeking
me
for well.
finish the intro of this podcast. You see why I say
I'm
let me.
sorry.
I
Let's
wanted to give
finish.
you the shit to do. You
I'm
said
sorry. I'm
no.
sorry.
I
I'm
make you
sorry. I'm
do it.
sorry. I'm
Now as you
sorry.
do, and you want collect them back from me.
I
Which kind of
don't vex.
politician
Sorry, no
be
vex. No
this now?
vex.
They
No
behave like that
vex.
Kogi State governor. You want do? You don't be governor again. What you still they do for here? Eh? What you still they
No
do?
vex. Sorry. Sorry.
They
No
still give
vex.
you office of the former governor of so state.
No
You want
vex.
to collect pension, collect salary. I beg. I want to give a special shout out to all our listeners who are the most important things. I'm sorry I called you our listeners, our giants. For everybody listening in Texas, California, Maryland, New York, the District of Columbia, all my people in Georgia, North Carolina, Illinois, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Florida, Ohio. Shout out to you guys. Want to give a shout out to you guys. All my people in the UK, whether you're in England, you're in Scotland, you're in Wales, Northern Ireland, shout out to you guys as well. All my Canadian people, Ontario, British Columbia, Alberta, Quebec, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, shout out to you guys as well. All my people in Ghana, huh? Shout out to you guys as well. All my people in Germany, shout out to you guys. Berlin, everybody in Ireland, so many people, man, so many people. All my people in Netherlands, Utrecht, Groningen, Drenthe, Amersfoort, Den Haag. Shout out to you guys
Did you
as
say Ten
well.
Hag?
No, I said Den Haag.
Okay.
The G is like the G isn't like the GG. It's different. But yeah, shout out to everybody listening. It's been a year since we launched this podcast. It's been a year. 50 something episodes now. About 50, 52 episodes, 52, 53 episodes. And, you know, magic numbers everywhere, man. We've done so many numbers, so many downloads, so many listens. And, just 1 year of rocking with you guys. It's been amazing for us as well. I think it's been very therapeutic for me, I would say, coming here every week just to catch up with my guys, talk about our lives, talk about the country, talk about music, pop culture, throwback, etc. And yeah, I want to say thank you. Thank you for rocking with us. You could be listening to any other podcast, which I'm sure you guys do. But you could be listening to like an extra podcast, and not listening to us, but you guys are listening to us week in, week out. So thank you, and thank you for the feedback. That's something, it's also something that really validates some of the stuff we do, right? When we get like feedback, whether it's through the fan mails, the DMs, or when we just interact with people we meet on the road or meeting in public. I want to give a shout out to you guys as well. Thank you so much, and please keep listening to us. Call us out on our BS. Tell us where you don't agree on things. That's what keeps it original and authentic. Ayo and Steve, do you have anything to say on our 1 year anniversary?
Many more years to go.
A man of very few words,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Yeah,
AOT2.
same here, same here,
Steve,
same here. Yeah, same
say,
here. I was I was really worried about what could be the form of this podcast, like what we'll be saying, and stuff like that. So I'm
Mhm.
happy to see how we've evolved and how everything, like how the conversation is going, and as people still enjoying our conversation. So shout out to everybody. God bless.
great, great, great. I put up a tweet about our 1 year anniversary, um, and a couple of people saw it and commented and gave us good props. Thank you for everybody who did that. There was one guy in particular who said, and it was so funny because the guy was like, I don't care about like all these music things you guys talk about on this pod. Like, get straight to like the. I want to know what's happening in Nigeria. Like, give me the pop culture or whatever is happening in Nigeria. You will just start be talking about Lamide MI and all these things. Like, who cares about your throwback and whatever? I think the guy's name is
Yeah.
Nothing None or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Shout out to him. Shout out to him. Hey man, do I have news for you, buddy?
You'll be shocked.
You understand? We don't control it. We don't control it. We have a script we kind of follow, but the conversation we just had about Alter and all that, it's very
Organic.
organic because we were having a conversation somewhere else and we just continue the conversation. And most times, what happens before we even press record, we probably have 15 minutes conversation, and then that's what kind of inspires how the podcast starts. So, my brother, no vex. As you know, like some people like So, just tell us what you want more, and we'll try as much as possible to deliver on it. Yeah, where are we starting today? Are we starting with paving the way? What are we starting with?
We'll start with
Lead researcher.
we'll start with Omalay's. We have to start with Omalay's concerts. That should be the first place to
Internationally
start.
blown. Internationally blown.
Because these Port Harcourt guys, they seems that they're terrorists. Like, if one of them, if the guy is not kicking you from his stage, another one is picking your girl, like they're a problem out here, bro.
Too
I don't
much. That
understand.
reverse. I know that riverside area, that waterside area. Very
There's something in the waters.
There's something in the water in that place. I first thought
Oh,
it was rehearsed. I thought it was like planned, like. But seeing the reaction, bro, and especially when I saw the guy on our guys streaming,
on Kai Sinat.
he's our guy. That's all I know. He's our
Yeah,
guy.
he's our guy, he's our
Yeah,
guy.
I do that one more. This shit is real, fam. It's real out here, fam.
Is someone going to give us a backstory for people who
Okay,
haven't?
Kaya
Some
will give
people
us the
aren't
backstory now.
Okay,
some people aren't
backstory.
on Twitter now. Some people aren't on
Okay,
social media.
I'm
So
sorry.
backstory.
give us the backstory,
Omale
yeah.
with a new manager right now.
And that's a very key keyword there. Back story.
Story. Yeah, in triple entendre. So Omale, PH finest, one of the new boys of Afrobeats, with the new manager and everything. Currently he's on a UK tour or European tour, and he stopped in somewhere in London to do his thing, fam. Yes. And as you know, now normally artists, as they're feeling themselves, oh, any fine lady from the stage, please, any fine lady from the audience, please come on stage and let's rock it out. And this lady was very eager, she got on stage, and as she got on stage, all the cameras, all the video cameras or phone cameras pointed to her boyfriend in the crowd, and people were laughing at him already.
Mhm.
Then Omale went to do what every toxic Nigerian man who has money and power would do, and to steal your woman from you. And he didn't do it in private; he did it in public. They even had that ashawo cover clothes. If anybody has ever been to a brothel before,
I've never.
I can't relate. I'm sorry.
Okay, Ashawo cover cloth, that white one, and we now
I
saw
can't
his
relate.
silhouette.
But like
And
I can't relate.
a local brothel in a lower class neighborhood in Nigeria, right?
yes, thank you.
You would have that kind of. So where would you install that kind of drape?
Okay,
Where
you're
would you
asking. I
install it?
thought you were emphasizing and you're trying to
No,
describe it for
based
us.
on
Okay, you're
architecture,
asking. Okay.
based on the
As
architecture.
sorry, Ayo, to cut you short before you start to describe for us. As you as the lead, you say I'm quite disappointed because this is how you should
No, no,
delve
no,
into
no,
this
no.
on
I
behalf
never
of
research.
the listeners.
In this case, I defer the title to Ayo for
You never
this
go there.
particular case.
You
Ayo,
never
you're the
go.
lead researcher.
I'm not the lead researcher. Based on UNO documentaries I have watched. Thank you.
Okay.
UNO
Local
Okay,
document.
documentary, that is locally produced documentaries.
Yes, very
Because some of
local.
okay,
these are not online, right? They
No, this one's
probably,
okay.
no.
but you were
This was
chance to
back in
watch
the
them
days
before they
of
went
no.
extinct.
This was back in the days of LTV, AIT.
Okay.
Oh,
So
wow. Now.
I shall walk over cloth. So all we could see was the silhouette. And I will best describe what those two people did, Omah Lay and the young lady, as dry humping. It was very graphic. It was very, very X-rated, R18. I hope there are no kids in the audience. And basically, they stimulated sex, especially Nigeria's favorite position right now, or Gen Z's favorite
which,
position. Nigeria's
which is
the behind. That's all I can say. I beg.
how
The
is
back
it the
shots.
popular Gen Z
You
position?
don't,
How,
Osagie, please. I'm pleading the fifth. Don't just let us go there. I'm
oh,
just
is a
pleading
thing.
fifth. Yes, now. You know, back then when you used to watch films, when they are doing love scene,
Mhm.
it's always
Yeah.
missionary. They're now not
Yeah.
the again. Now the default
Because
position,
everything now is toxic.
yes, is assume the arc position. The arc or hair, not to confuse with Noah's ark. This one is the Gen
Because
Z arc.
that's the most important
That's the
acme
only
I
arc me I know as a man of God.
that's
But
the in
apparently
fact
this,
that's the only acme I want to get on top.
yeah. But apparently there's another arc, and the young lady
Hey, hey.
did what she had to do,
Wahala
right?
day.
And while they were doing this, people were clowning the young man in the audience, even the security that should be securing the venue. They were laughing at the young man, and it took like 48 hours for it to go viral. And the other videos of the guy walking solemnly when the show was over. I could overhear the lady saying, "Was it that bad?" to her friends. And as you know, Twitter erupted, Instagram went mad, Snapchat exploded. I don't know if Facebook has gotten it yet. I think maybe this week Facebook will finally know what happened with Omah Lay and the lady. And once again, we now see the power of Nigeria's soft power. It
Yeah.
went from the black community in the UK to the black community in America. Now the world's biggest streamer has taken upon himself to do like a sort of a competition for this guy. People were bringing out their own opinion, think pieces, their own counter viral videos of the whole thing. Rumors started that they're in a 7-year relationship, which the guy has denied. I think it was not even up to a year, safe. Yeah, and all that. So it's been a week for Afrobeat guys. And I don't like the fact that people who don't know Afrobeat in Nigeria were calling Omah Lay a C-list artist. Come on now. Omah Lay is the new boys in town. The boys who are going to take over. He's not a C-list artist. Yeah, so that's the summary of what went down Afrobeats in the UK. Ladies and gentlemen.
Afro back, Afro
Afroback.
beats. I mean,
Afroback.
there's a reason why there's a reason why Omah Lay is actually having a show in the UK. That's how
Yeah.
big he is.
Yeah, that's how
You
it's big
know,
Yeah.
is.
yeah, he's
And it was packed. It was a packed show.
of course was that show in UK or in Amsterdam?
Sorry, where was
It
let's
was in
let's
UK.
Google. It was
It
not
was
in
in
UK.
UK now.
Okay, I thought they
Okay.
said it was in Amsterdam and they flew like they were UK but flew into I don't know, but yeah,
I don't
somewhere in
know.
Europe.
Okay,
Omah Lay
hold
is
on.
like he's huge. His music is great. He's like he's
It's
up
UK.
there, top
It's
top.
UK.
He's in UK. Okay, top
Yeah.
top artist, top artist. Don't let's even joke around that. Top artist.
Bro,
What's
his
Um,
what's
record.
what's the code? What's the code for this kind of scenario where you and your partner you're going for a concert and maybe your partner is a fan of the artist and she or he wants to dance with the artist, like what's the code really, like is it allowed, is it frowned upon, like what's your stand on it? Saga longer.
He has raised up his hand.
before we even go to code, right? I want to talk about like let's break down the scenario. Let's break it down scene by scene.
Mm,
Mhm.
Let's break it down.
Okay.
director's cut.
The, what they call that? Is it directors? The one-on-one, the
Yeah,
after
one
the
on one
show,
with the director.
the monologue or the conversation with the director. Well, let's break it out scene by scene. First of all, is this the first time Omah Lay is doing this? It isn't the first time.
No, I know
No.
he brings ladies on stage to the
Okay,
best of my
before this video
knowledge.
went viral, I think 2 days ago, was on Friday, right? Before it went viral, the video had circulated before, but not from this perspective, right?
So somebody tweeted
Yeah.
that. I think somebody tweeted from the show that you see what Omale is doing to somebody's girlfriend or something like that. It was, I
There
think, the
was
men.
footage from way back that
Yeah,
showed the same drape and then the white beam on them when they were doing that, because
Mhm.
that video had already circulated a few
yeah.
days before,
So what
but
happened was
not
that
Yeah.
from
people started drawing
not
their own
from the
angles.
storyline perspective.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay.
And
So
we all
it then
played it.
now happens that
Yeah,
we now have the backstory of the dancing and everything, where she
Yeah.
leaves the
the guy.
supposed boyfriend to stage, blah
Yeah.
blah blah, and all that, right? And then there's a focus on the guy, and the guy has the most dejected face ever. Oh,
The funniest tweet I saw concerning this was when someone posted another angle of the guy's face, and someone that said, even VAR does not have these so many angles. Like,
Oh,
and I thought about it. I'm like, it's the
oh,
truth.
VR, I know this guy
Even
angles.
VR don't reach like this. Like, that's how insane it is.
It was a
and that
And
360
that
stuff.
that angle has now been turned into a GIF,
yeah,
and
it has been.
yesterday it was used on football Twitter when Man U
Yeah,
lost.
yeah.
Like,
The
it was
guy
used on
I
football
saw,
like,
bro.
I'm telling you.
Twitter is the best thing on earth. Oh my
We've
god.
had this conversation of how like a meme originates from something and then can be used to portray like multiple
Yeah,
stories. Remember when we did that?
Across
A meme
genres,
is the
across,
best.
yeah,
A meme is the shortest form of a story.
yes, it
easily,
is. It's a snapshot,
easily,
and you get
easily,
everything. You already understand what is going on here.
It's crazy
easily.
how you can put that, like, Man U loses, or they say someone is injured and someone quotes that tweet with that meme, and
Yes,
immediately it registers in your brain the message the person is trying to
yes,
pass across, and you already know the back is mad.
exactly.
The
Yes,
concept of a meme is is I don't know. It's the shortest form of a story. Anyways,
yeah,
so that's happening. The guy's face, he looks dejected. There's also another footage of when the guy's just wandering outside while the girl is catching up with her friends. Her friends are
Yeah,
saying, "Hey man, I think you overdid it," and she was like, "Oh, was it that bad?" Having fun,
yeah,
you know, having fun, and the guy is reeling in pain, just hanging around waiting for her because they probably have to go home together.
yeah,
Again, shout out to the
probably.
young gentleman. It's not just going to leave the girl. Like, post concerts can get a bit unsafe, man. So the guy's like, you know what? I brought you here. Might as well take you home, or
It's
maybe
my
we're going
duty.
back to
Yeah,
the same
it's my
place. So
gentleman's
yeah,
duty
man.
to take you back.
Do you understand? So shout out to the young man, right? Also, now let's get into like
The
the
nitty gritty.
nitty gritty. Thank you, my journalist.
but like, I wanted to ask, what did
Yes.
you guys think this was planned or unplanned? Because I don't believe anything because of our
I
media,
don't
my
think it was
media
planned.
background. I don't believe things happen organically like that. You know, right?
I
It's
think this
too
was a
perfect.
pure viral moment. I don't think it was planned.
Same,
I first thought
same.
it was planned, but later on I was like, nah, fam,
Yeah,
nah. This
Yeah.
this is this
because
is
that
wild.
Especially
footage had
seeing the
gone
guy
out
on Kai
before.
Sinet's show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seeing one Kaisen now show now confirm like no, this real.
Yeah, because it wasn't planned. Because remember, we said the footage had come out before, days before, of from another angle. Then that now
Yeah.
comes out, and that story goes out, and all that, right? First of all, I want to say everybody's talking about like, oh, the guy was grinding on the girl. I think people are only like taking it, blowing it out of proportion because like there's a boyfriend involved. Bro,
Oh
we've watched
yes.
footage of
Oh
Ruga
yes.
shows now.
Bro.
What the girl and Omah Lay were doing was child's play compared to what
Bro,
we
I've
see
seen
at
worse now.
Ruga shows.
Two Baba has done something
Ruga
like
shows,
that now. Two Baba has
yeah.
done something like that before now.
Let's even say Tubaba is like older. I think it was
Yeah.
either Tonto DK the first time, then the other time when someone took over close, it was Denzil also. Remember
Yeah.
that one? Like
Yeah.
2010 or something, right? Let's even leave all those ones. Let's talk about like
The
Ruga
new
shows.
no Ruga
When
shows
it was,
are dry humping, true jam dancehall concerts.
yeah, so why? So is people are only freaking out now, or this is just a good story, right? Or a wild story because
Yeah.
there's a boyfriend involved,
Yeah, the
right?
boyfriend context is there. Yes, definitely.
Okay,
And
all right.
when you're in an exclusive relationship with somebody else and you do that. Yeah.
That's why the thing went viral. That's why it's a viral moment
Yeah, yeah,
because,
yeah,
like I said, Ruga has been wilding.
yeah.
With multiple women on stage. We
It's
even
a
lined
normal
them
thing
up.
for in short most Afrobeat concerts. If the guy come on stage, do your
Hmm.
thing. Black
Yaya
Bones,
was doing crazies.
Black Bones did his
Remember?
own yesterday.
Yeah, was the biggest culprit of this. Every
Like,
show.
I think it's actually Ruga. Ruga is wild.
No, don't forget Black. Don't forget
I
Nyanya.
think
Nyanya
I think
go
it's
with
because of I think
tight
it's because of
pants.
Twitter. That's why you guys think it's Ruga. Yeah, had a song to compliment like on that fits the
Yes, man.
Yaya's one was
the
crazy.
scenario. Yeah,
Yeah. I
know.
was Nyanya welcome this. Let me just put it that way. Please
Yeah,
Yeah,
touch me on stage.
yeah. So okay, so to the main meat of the story now. The guy and the babe. And Steve asked the question, like,
what's
what
the
are the
code?
rules of engagement here? What's the
Yeah,
code, right? If your girlfriend leaves you to go and dance on stage, I try to think about it and come to like a reasonable conclusion, and I can't because like every relationship differs. Do you know that? Let me try and explain this well. If if someone's girlfriend goes on stage and has a dance with like an artist that she likes, and that's it, she's going back to her boyfriend, what's the big deal?
let me tell you my mind. Right,
Mm-hmm.
I feel this thing is specific. When I was like 20, when I was like in uni, maybe like 18 to like 24, 25.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I would have been angry if my girlfriend did that.
Yeah.
For
Like
real?
100%, like for 100%, right? But as a middle aged guy, right now, I'll feel the type of way. It's never going to happen anyway because we all have boundaries. We have to communicate what we can and
Mm-hmm.
cannot do, right? But I don't think at that time, I don't know how young the guy is, but the guy seemed pretty young. I think at that
He's also a
age,
young guy. Yeah.
yeah, I think at that age you're allowed. Like it's fine. You came to a concert. It's a memorable thing. Like he's your favorite artist. You just danced and it's fine. Everybody goes on.
Mm-hmm.
But I think like when you start maturing a bit and the relationship start getting like a little bit serious, stuff like that, there should be
Yeah.
boundaries. That's how I think it. Like that's what I think about the situation. I feel I would have allowed it. Like it's something I wouldn't have mind like like 10 years ago, like 12, 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But right now I think, it's gonna be an issue for me. That's how I see it. I don't know how you
Yeah.
guys see it. Yeah.
Yeah. I see your point there and I understand your point. I think for me,
Yeah.
right, it's she's going back home with me.
Yeah.
So
So there's no yeah, there's not
you
yeah,
get like I'm
that's
I'm the
true.
guy, that's my babe. Okay.
Yeah.
Go dance and everything.
There's this
Okay,
popular
fine.
joke. There's this popular joke about an Igbo man who took his girlfriend to the club, and some guy was dancing in his club, and I asked him, you know, how come all other guys are dancing? He said, man, it does not matter who dances with who. What matters is who takes who home. That was like the joke, like then back in the days,
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand what
So
you're saying.
that's how I kind of
That's how
see
you
it.
take it,
I
yeah.
I think what I
But
would
it's too
do is
the
tell her,
moves are too sultry. They are too just not just dancing. This is
brother,
just
now
too
dance, you go dance now.
not
Wait till
dance,
you
not dance.
bend down.
Okay.
I'd say it's not as crazy as the Rugan. So all the boyfriends of the girlfriends that went on stage with the Rugan, what do you want them to do? They should go and
It's
slit their
true.
wrist.
It's true. It's
Do you
true.
understand? That's how I'm looking at it now. Personally, right? The girl bent, did whatever. It's that's the dance.
I
If he
like
goes to any
um
other
I
concert,
like how
he's
Osagie is very liberal.
no,
Yeah,
it's
very,
not about
very.
Libra or whatever, right? Think about it, right? Anybody that gets on stage there, that is how, because of the kind of song, the name of the song is Bend You.
Yeah.
But
That's what is
where
going
did
to
you go?
happen
Man, is that why is it you? Why were you so eager to be bent?
because he's a fan. You can be a fan of all these liberal things when they talk. You
It's
can be a
not
fan of something your girlfriend is a fan of. Think about it. Let's go into our own like set, right? Imagine we're a bit younger and Craig David was on stage and you had a girlfriend and your girlfriend you get David got your girlfriend on stage and wander around and did something like that and she was excited and she's going back to you. She's your girl. Now, what is painful is that the spotlight was put on the guy. The guy has become a meme. Those are the things that will be annoying me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? Like, how am I the center of attraction and why am I being ridiculed here? Because the guy is being unfairly ridiculed. He's been turned into a
Yeah.
worldwide meme.
he has
For
been
what?
he has been
Just
turned to a
allowing his
cockroach.
girlfriend to get.
Yeah.
Do you understand? To allowing his girlfriend to go on stage, they demasculate the guy on top waiting. Now waiting go they pay me be that. In fact, now waiting go even pay me to the point where I go look the babe say, see wetin happen now. You go stage, then they laugh me. Not really an artist is dancing with someone on stage. My brothers listening. Don't be insecure.
Yeah.
Rules of
Osage,
engagement again, like
I'm
Steve said.
insecure.
However, on the
I'm
other
insecure.
side,
Wait, hold on, Osage. That guy, shout out to you. Because I know I am Tayo in the UK.
yes,
Security is great in the UK. There's no wala. It's not as if you are going to Elegushi Beach. Oh. As you
yeah.
enter that stage, I don't book my Uber. Bro, I don't give a fuck. You've already said that this is the life you want to live. And this is not one life. To
I
the
don't
attention
agree. Why you
children,
saying? Why you
follow
saying no?
Omale, follow Omale to the backstage.
Tayo, you're saying that you have a girlfriend that you are
Yes.
dating, right?
Yes.
So you've been dating her for 2 years, ride or die, babe. Omale
Yes.
is her biggest fan. She goes on stage. She has you guys went pre-drinks.
I'm my
You
biggest
guys
fan.
did. You
Osagi,
guys.
I'm my biggest fan. I'm your pastor, your best friend, your biggest, and I'm your artist. There's nothing. Sorry.
Yeah,
I don't play
absolute
that shit, bro. I don't play that shit, bro. Because now from dance, you know, bro, we are all entertainment journalists now. We know what these guys they do to other people, girlfriend and wives. Like now, no. Just they go. Thank you. You know, it was a nice time knowing you. It was good. Thanks for the memories. Peace out.
So you're telling me now that if that girl goes back to the guy, which they probably went home together or whatever, if they didn't, I don't know. But let's say they went home together and everything, and the girl wants to continue a relationship with the guy will now say, no, you went on stage and danced with Omale. I can't date you anymore.
Bro. To God be the
She
glory.
didn't leave him for Omale. She didn't leave him. Omale went backstage and went on with his own life, and he
You were
probably did
grinding,
like
you were grinding genitals with Omah Lay. Come on.
you guys are overthinking this
This
thing.
is an exclusive relationship.
I like what Steve said
What did
because
Steve say? Because Steve can be funny or
Steve
this thing.
said
Steve can
when
be
we were
woke.
younger,
Steve can be
Steve,
alter.
Steve said when we were younger, we'll
I
probably
would
let
have
it slide. Like getting older now, right? You've
I,
built a relationship with someone. You don't expect the person you're dating. Guys,
I
if
think
Steve and I were
yeah.
single, what's Steve saying now, right? In the dating pool with the age range of people we'll be dating everything, we don't expect that kind of person to be going on stage.
First of
Like
all,
imagine, yes,
Exactly,
first of all,
exactly. At this age, you don't
this is
understand. We should have
younger
like
men for
you
the
should be able to
listeners.
control your excitement over meeting
Younger men,
somebody, over your favorite
younger men.
artist or anything.
Please,
Yeah,
let me just give you the honest advice. Because me, I see they the industry. These two know they the industry again. When
see
you are
this
screen,
specifically.
when you are screening babes, for dating or anything, please make sure she's not a fan of anybody. Trust
oh
me.
my god,
No, now
Trust me.
then
Highest,
you don't.
let her be the fan of all this K-pop or all this K-drama. Because Lee
so she
Min
won't see
Ho,
them.
they come Nigeria.
This
Lee
is
Min
crazy.
Ho is not owing in Nigeria. And she doesn't have the money to go to South Korea to go and watch any of his films. Simple as that. If
Nah,
they tell you say, oh, I like Whiskey. Whiskey is so, bro, Baba, may we not talk past that one. Please. All these artists, you know what they happen. I beg of you in the name of God. For your sanity. The word is already against you, young man. Dollar is rising. Okay, it has reduced to 1.5 now. I got a lot. It has reduced to 1.5. But
Yeah,
please, I'm begging. Yes, it's 1.5 now.
Steve,
still,
Naira rate.
Steve
I have,
said, yeah.
I have updates.
that's
Oh.
dope. That's
I
dope.
have,
That's dope. You know,
I have
I know
Twitter,
why. I second should know.
I have Twitter update. Oh, okay. As they drop on for me. So please, young man, women that gravitate towards entertainment too much. There's a reason why you bad people say the woman that you meet on the dance floor. OGs that are wiser than us have said it already.
There's a
Don't come and
bad proverb to proverb for this.
yes now.
Ah,
I tweeted it now.
um,
I put it on my Instagram story now. And people are
please,
hitting me up
please,
and saying, people are hitting me up
please,
and saying, it's true. I'll send it to
please,
you.
please, please. Let me hear it again. Let me hear it again. Just hear. Let me
Yeah,
hear it
wait.
again.
Let me look for it. It's not that far. I did not even
This
tweet
is
it again.
incredible. This is incredible.
I
So
didn't
our
tweet.
OGs, this thing happened to our OGs.
Bro,
Because for somebody to come up with that parable, but you don't dance with one old traditional musician.
you think Sonny
They're
Ade
coming
there
to
were
call
innocent?
him.
You think that Sonny Ade
Mm,
and Obe were innocent people?
do you think Noah's Ark after Noah's Ark, no other Ark came before this Omale's Ark?
Where is that tweet? Oh,
Anyways,
so what?
okay.
This is the story. Let me give it to you. According to Oduduwa, 1806 BC, a wife, a wife that you married through dancing exploits will yet elope with a better dancer. Simple as bro. That is what they know the wife baddies for night, bro. I don't tell you all this one that they are giving you all these one thing. I'm giving you survival tips here, my bro. Because that
Ayo.
babe that you like, that is your girlfriend, December will come, she won't pick your call. Next thing you see her with all our big artists in all these private island resorts, slaughtering and dicing your babe. Bro, a word is bro, it's cold out here, fam. As a young man, think of your life. Any babe you want to date, let her like Ron Kennedy, Don Moy, all those niggas. Kirk Franklin, yes.
Don Williams.
Don
Listen
Williams.
to
I don't even trust
radio.
Nigerian gospel singers. Because Nigerian gospel singers are moving funny too. Nigerian gospel
Radio.
singers move funny too. Please. I'm begging in the name of God. So that you won't be a meme in life. Please. Thank you.
You know the ones that are crazy.
Well,
You know what they used to say back then? Like, don't date any girl who knows any artist on first name basis.
so I like Ayo. I like David. Oh, bro, just bro,
Oh,
you are
I was
single,
yeah, who David?
bro. Even 30 BG niggas don't call him David.
Oh God. Yeah, that one is always crazy. Everybody just first name basis. How?
Mhm.
And where?
Bro, it's over. Don't even deceive
Okay.
yourself. It's
All
over.
right. Me, I still stick to what I'm saying, and I understand what you're saying. And maybe young people should listen to Ion more. But if you see it from my point of view, again, it depends on the
Bro,
relationship
I was
dynamic.
at a show
Um,
yesterday, and I can
yes,
bet you what I saw
and you.
backstage. There are people's girlfriends there. As
Hmm,
boys go say, this is my loving. I want to marry her and everything, bro.
yeah.
These girls act different when they see GLEs and other Mercedes Benz cars pull up. I they beg in the name of God. I they beg you. Look for girl, we
Give
don't
us
even know.
give us
Wait,
some stuff you saw yesterday. You don't need to go into like
no, I was actually
details,
quite
but
busy,
like
so I just saw glances. That's all I'm saying. Because I was running up and down. But once I get
glances of
anyone,
what?
I'll give you guys a accurate blow by blow account. All I can tell you is, bros, do not be the guy that they use as a meme. That's what I'm telling you. There are women
So
here.
you're saying
There are women here would like Omah Lay, but they won't just fake and say, "Oh, Omah Lay." Yeah, like, I like Omah Lay. Finish. Secondly, if you are going to concerts as a guy, I beg of you, if you must go with your partner, please go to VIP. VIP is up. Omah Lay is not. No Nigerian artist is going up to the VIP. This is not a co-hotel. A co-hotel is different. And in a co-hotel, they don't try it because now governor girlfriend you want dance with, you go collect slap, you go sleep for guard room. God no. I know artists that have been slapped in the wrong place. They won't go and dance your guys to babe, and you will collect slap there live on stage. Uh-huh. Those are my
oh wow.
survival tips. Surviving Afrobeats is a documentary that is coming soon. I'm telling you guys, in the next 10 years, men will come out and speak. Okay.
Hi, my name is Frank, and I survived Afrobeats.
Yeah. You survive
Tell us
Afrobeats.
what happened. And then the background be on on February 24, 2024, Frank and his then girlfriend went to a show in the UK. That is where it all started.
Dum,
You hear the
dum.
background music. Anyways, man. Crazy, crazy stuff. Crazy. What a viral moment. And shout out to the young man. I just don't like how
Yeah. Think of his
every,
mental
every
health.
yeah, like everybody says, oh, let's be kind to people on the internet, right? Let's be kind to people on the internet. Let's show love. Let's do this. Everybody acknowledges that the guy is the protagonist in the story, right? Or he's the one that
Yeah.
has been aggrieved, right? But everybody is clowning him. And the lady now turns to the anti-hero. I
It
don't
was
have
a
a problem with
lady.
the lady
It was a
who said,
lady in this. It was a lady that was the so-called victim here. People would have rallied with her. Sister, you can do better. Go for a king. Blah blah blah. A man that respects you. Where's a man now? Everybody
yeah,
don't.
I don't like how the young man and see we know the effect of these things. We've been in media, we've gone viral. Like we know the effect of these things. The effect of there's no positive outlook from this thing,
No,
except
Nothing.
and
none.
it's not positive. It's just digital embarrassment. And
Except you are shameless. If you're shameless, there's yeah.
once
If
you are
you're
shameless,
shameless, yeah.
own it. But if you don't have that shameless quality and you're just a young man, and that guy is a young guy, the way the thing will even hit him, you're not prepared for this thing,
Yeah, you're not
guys.
prepared now.
People like us, we can already what they call it, we can already see, and we know when we are going to have a viral moment.
Yeah.
We already know. we see the indices. We see it already. We already see it. So this guy just wakes up one morning, goes to bed, probably goes to bed. In fact, it was 2 3 days after the video comes out, and everything is just going. So your parents are calling you,
Yeah.
your uncles, your aunties,
Your siblings,
your
your friends.
bro. Let me tell you what virality does. If you guys don't understand, I've gone viral a couple of times, and even not for when I mean going viral, not even like the crazy stuff that happened. Just Instablog Nigeria put one of my videos out, or like Olori Supergirl
Yeah.
put one of my videos out. I'm telling you, people from your secondary school are reaching out to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
People you've not
Virality is
spoken to in
crazy.
years.
Yes, the amount of people. So you know how we live our lives. You live your life in like a bubble, and so it's the people that you interact with daily that you think are the only people that kind of see you and interact with you. You kind of block out a lot of other people, right? What virality then does is somebody from 16 years ago in your life still connects with you, sees it, reaches out to you, and then spread that times what? Maybe like 500 people. And then these
Yeah.
people are reaching out to you. Then you have random people. So that's one set of people in the virality pool, right? That are now reaching out to you. Oh, we're
Yeah.
waiting up. This. I remember me. I see you here. Then they're sharing it to you like it's the first time that you are receiving the post or whatever. That's happening.
Yeah.
Second set of people are the random strangers that you have no business with, that have no business with you, that suddenly have an opinion over your life,
Yeah.
over your inaction, action or inaction. Everything the guy did there was
Yeah.
inaction. There was no action. He just
Yeah.
chilled.
He was
He
just
was looking.
he was a passerby.
He saw what was going on. He shook his head. He shook his head that way. We can't even interpret what was going on through his mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
understand? But everybody
Yeah.
immediately starts to judge. So that
Yeah.
second set of things going on, you're seeing it on social media, like, who is this person? Why do you have this opinion on me? Then the third set of people, the ones that will create the content over your head,
Oh
Yeah.
yes, no.
the
Oh God.
grifters,
Other niggas make millions. Other
the
niggas make
opinion shakers,
millions. Yeah. And other some niggas make memes.
the ones that just
Yeah.
switch on the camera. Oh, I know you guys have seen this video, and here are my thoughts.
Yeah,
The
that's what
guy
I don't
that
understand. Who are you to now give thoughts? Like who designated you the thought giver or the thought
the
sharer?
grifters, those
Yeah.
are the ones.
You're just feeding off. You want to get the clout, so you're feeding off somebody's pain.
Yeah, and maybe we too are grifters because we're discussing it right now.
But
you know,
we are not. Yeah, but anyway, sir.
but
It's true.
you get my point. The
Yeah,
ones
yeah.
that
Yeah.
are creating the content specifically to grow a fan base, specifically to grow whatever, right?
Using the opportunity of that incident.
Yes, and crucifying,
Yeah.
somewhat crucifying that person, the
Even
ones that
the
will chop
lady,
it up, and that's the internet for you.
even the lady
You
Yeah.
can't help.
self. Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw a
of
popular
course. And
Instagram account. They now put up her videos. Like they now started putting up her identity. I don't think that's necessary, bro.
like
Yeah.
they start what they call it. They start doxing you.
They start
They'll go
yeah,
and find
bro.
previous
At some point, she had
they'll
to
go and
close the
find your
comments.
previous content
Yeah,
that
and they
do
not
not
judge you of that.
that don't correlate to that, and then they find a way to twist it to make it correlate.
So I don't,
It's evil, guys.
bro.
It's
There's
evil.
no need for you
It's
to
an
bring
evil
her account
world.
or photos out again. It has happened. It has
Yeah.
happened. You know, it's a moment. This should not be hovering over our head for life. At the end of the day,
Then there are the wild ones. So we've done with the grifters. Then there are just the wild ones, the ones that will go and open fake accounts of those people.
oh, they did already. She
So
already has
start
like
growing,
four,
getting
she
followers.
already has like 4 fake Instagram accounts.
Like, fam.
I need like so I'm in the last 1 year or so, like I've been very, very like interested in psychology, human psychology and stuff like that. Like I'm looking forward to, that there are not many of them, that I feel, but there are a lot in research and works. I'm looking forward to like what social media has changed humans psychologically, like how people act just because of social media. The next 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, there are a lot of research happening now. People are doing a lot of research, so the papers are going to come out like 4 or 5 years time. I can't wait because the way people think just because of social media is really interesting. And we as millennials, we were able to, if you look at it, we were able to manage these things because we live both worlds. We live a world
We
where
didn't manage it though. We didn't manage it.
we
Some
did.
of us, no, we have not managed it well, bro. All the people that are posting their children, people are putting up the digital identity of all their children. It's millennials now. Millennials are the
That's
crazy
true.
people now. It's the Gen X's and well, the baby boomers. They don't understand the technology of now that well,
They don't
right?
understand it.
Bro,
Yeah, yeah,
after
yeah.
WhatsApp
Gen
and
X is
Facebook, my mama don't understand anything again.
yeah. the Gen X is some do, some don't, right? The
Yeah.
baby boomers are also doing crazy stuff, putting up
So
stuff,
I
but like
understand
they
what
don't
Steve is trying to
understand the
say.
effect.
I understand what
Yeah,
Steve is
well,
saying.
I was just trying to say that.
The later millennials like us that we struggle to even put up our phone, like we are in a popular place to even bring out our phone and
Older
Yes,
start recording.
millennials,
It's
older
kind of
millennials. Yeah,
it's not we're not digital like natives like that. It's not instinctive for
yeah,
us. But those that are
yeah.
like
It's something we
closer,
just have to do just because you have to do it.
yeah,
Yeah,
but those that are like
the
the
younger
younger
millennials,
millennials
yeah,
are the ones that are quick
yeah.
to boom boom.
but
But even
bro, I'm
older
still saying
millennials, they fuck up too.
there are older millennials that are bro. People
No,
look at
of
some of
course. There's
their
no
children. There are
totality.
older millennials now.
There's
Bro,
no totality in like in
they are baby
in
boomers.
Just
any arguments like that, right?
There are baby boomers who
yeah,
are cloud chasers too on social
it,
media.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's
Yeah.
just the subset. There's a subset of the millennials who like saw it and like, nah, this doesn't make sense. Like, how do I move well? Do you
yeah.
understand? I get what
Yeah.
you're saying. But what Steve, I think what you're saying is that the Gen Zs, those ones are even just entrusted into it. There's
Oh, they were
no
born
Straight
into it.
up.
analysis.
They
There's
didn't know in
no
life.
yeah. So
They didn't know in
they
life.
didn't live the other world where you didn't have like social media. You didn't have to like put your thoughts. You didn't have access to people's stuff every day, right? We're able to like I knew that word. I don't know how these people are coping because it's insane. Like the kind of things I see on social media, especially when things like this happen, you just know that like people have lost themselves and they are living in a different world, which is like this digital world. And I wonder how it's going to like affect them in terms of like raising children. Like I'm looking forward to see like
You know the
reports
funny
like that
thing?
to see how
In the
how
future,
humans have changed.
in
Yeah.
the future, we are going to see young people who their parents use as social media content start suing their parents.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
going to happen.
Yes. It's going to happen too. Like young people just growing up, suddenly turning 18 to realize that
They were
they've been in the
mean,
public since
they
they were
became
like
a meme, they
babies.
went viral and all that stuff against their will.
Right?
That your
Yeah.
digital identity has been sacrificed.
Yeah.
Sacrifice.
I
So I'm
believe
looking for
Sacrifice
yeah,
for
man.
sacrifice for seconds of fame. Because
and
that's the only reason why
and
a new
then
baby is born. A new baby is born. The second minute, the picture of the new baby is on the internet. It's
with
crazy.
with an account ready to go. Like, bro, come on now.
You know. So yeah, you're right. I'm looking forward to the impact of what social media, the internet, and just internet, social media has done
Yeah.
to
Did you
the
see that
lives of
news
like young
from?
people.
Did you see that news about New York where they said there's a lawsuit against all the social media apps for what it has done to the mental health of teenagers? So this week
I haven't seen it.
they launched like a
Oh,
class lawsuit against all the
yeah,
popular
wow.
All popular
apps,
social yeah,
all social media
apps, yeah,
apps because of it is now
that's
a
true. I saw
mental
that
health.
too.
I don't think
Yeah.
a young person should be on social media. I believe so. I truly do. I believe so. Like there's no point.
It's insane, bro.
I don't know why you have an
Bro,
account by 10 years old. By 10, I don't know
when we
why
were
you need.
growing up,
Bro,
you shouldn't
10,
know you
10-year-olds are all over TikTok.
Bro, now then get that
Sags.
now. Now then
Secondary
get
no,
school,
but
see, let me tell
but
you, Nigerian secondary school, bro, trust me, Nigerian secondary school students, right, are huge on TikTok. Like they have TikTok accounts. Like
but you're not even of the
I've
legal
seen,
age to open
bro,
an account.
I've seen like
no,
several parents complaining that their kids are on TikTok. What's a 10-year-old having access to that kind of app for?
and you know that TikTok is not the safest. Once you enter the dark space of the algorithm, your algorithm changes and you start seeing some shit that you're not meant to see.
Yeah.
I said something a while ago, and I know these platforms don't do it because everybody is trying to acquire users
Yeah,
different ways.
Commercialization,
I said,
that's the race war.
commercialization. Yeah.
That's the race war now.
yes,
Yeah,
I said if you want to own a social media account, it should be the same way you own a bank account.
Yeah.
You need to put
yeah.
like,
No, that's where the
yeah,
internet is
you need,
going.
you need to put like your identification,
Hmm.
right? Proper identification, and you shouldn't be able to open like more than a certain number of accounts.
Yeah. So that is
Mhm.
what Elon Musk wants to do, but they are afraid of people not leaving. That's the thing. Because internet still gives you anonymity. Look at this whole thing
It
with
shut down
Peruzzi.
a lot of bot accounts, though. It shut down a
He
lot of
did, he
bot
did.
accounts.
Look at what happened to Peruzzi over the week. Somebody just edited something, put it out there because he thought he was
I'm
anonymous. And
I'm
they found the
glad
guy.
he
They
found
found
the
the guy.
guy. Because that is not going to stop a lot of other people to do, from doing something stupid as that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They found the boy. It's just a young guy that thinks everything is a joke.
And guess why? He's doing it for clout. He needs that check at the end of the month. Let me just look for something that will just trigger 5 million views or 5 million this thing impressions.
Where we go? Like, how are we going to stop? When is this? And it's not stopping anytime
Bro,
soon,
let
right?
it get
Because
worse.
another platform is going to come,
Bro,
and that
have
one
you
is
seen
even
the
going to be more
have you seen the
immersive.
Apple
Sorry,
have you
that
okay.
one is. That one is going to be more immersive than any of the social media platforms we have,
It's
right?
here already now.
Have you watched Ready Player One?
Yeah, yeah. Bro, that is where Apple is going to with their headsets. Have you seen how immersive that thing is?
Mm-hmm.
That is where we are going to, where everything will
Hmm.
be boom. That is where we are heading to. VR is going to be heavy. So if you're not on VR, it's like you don't exist. You have to create content for that.
Because you got to get into that world.
Yes, now. Because
And
everything
so
will now
what
be in
will
that world.
happen? And what will happen? What would then happen in Nigeria is what has always been happening, right? You would then have VR headset shops, VR shops,
Oh, yes.
because a lot of people won't be able to afford
Yeah.
the hardware.
Yeah, yeah.
So to access, it's mad though. This is all back to cyber
Like
cafe
Cyber Cafe now.
again,
Yes.
right? Because you need to access that world. So you go there, they will have all the headsets. Then you go,
Yeah.
then you wear the
Yeah,
headset,
You
and you
use your
can do like an
username.
hour, 2 hours,
yeah.
Yeah, you log into your
username and
username and
everything.
password.
And then they log you in, and then you can do like 2 hours of in another world. Then come and take it off, then go back to your normal world, and
Yeah.
then it becomes very addictive. This is what the internet was back then.
Yeah.
The more things change, the more they say the same.
Yeah. It's just the yeah. It's crazy living in
Wow.
these internet times. You can't hide. You can't just it forces you to be this thing.
Yeah. All right. Shout out to Omah Lay and the Ark.
Shout out to Omah Lay and everybody. Shout out to everybody.
That
Yeah,
artwork.
man.
That artwork they
It's
did
time we talk
is
about
mad.
Idris Abdulkareem. Idris
Yeah.
Abdulkareem's
So
interview,
from
and the
bending
OGs are wild.
from
What
bending the arc to bending the truth.
what was that thing that Drake said? It's a shame when the OGs act like bros or something like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
First of all, why do we even tackle this one? Because the series of events that were just springing up, the timeline is
Bro,
all
It's too
over the
like you
place.
don't plenty.
bro, if they told
Yeah,
me
what's his name?
I-
Sorry, what's his name?
Idris interview started all
that the
this.
freeze
Daddy Freeze is what's the name of the
is
Avenger superhero?
Thanos. No, no, no,
No, not
Doctor
Doctor
Mark,
Strange.
Doctor
Doctor
Strange.
Strange, Doctor
Doc-
Strange.
Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange.
You know how they used to introduce trailers back in the 90s. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if you guys can remember. It was always one white American with a dark voice.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So
that
this
heavy
one would be
voice.
Daddy Freeze is Doctor Strange.
Dum.
Daddy Freeze is Doctor Strange because he's the one manipulating the timelines.
Yeah,
He's
he's
just
Omo.
manipulating all the timelines.
He's bringing it. The only
You
person he
know?
doesn't have is Keke and Day1. Those are the people he hasn't brought on at this level now.
Yeah. Shout out to Daddy Freeze. He's actually done, this week has been one of his busiest weeks.
He busy, oh. He
Back
busy.
to
Oh.
Yeah.
back interviews, lives, bringing everybody on the live. And that's the power of technology.
Yeah,
I was watching an interview with, I think it was Sobericon,
yeah.
where he was talking about radio and the power of radio, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then they went into like how what Nedu is doing at the Honest Bunch, and what he is doing on his own platform, and that interestingly, both of them were from radio, and
Yeah.
how they realized that radio is, I won't say a dying format or dying media, because people like to say that radio is dying,
No,
radio
it's
is dying. No,
just
radio
it's
is not
just
dying.
limited in kind of like
There are other
conversations we
Yeah.
need.
formats and there are other media
Formats.
or mediums, yeah,
Yeah,
that are rising. Don't just say radio is dying.
yeah.
Radio is
Yeah.
huge in
Bro,
Nigeria.
radio is
Stop that.
still very huge. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Steve and I had one whole argument. Or was it TV we were
No,
having the
that's
argument
TV.
about?
That's NT.
So that was TV.
That's
Radio
insane.
is. Do you know the biggest radio station in Nigeria?
Is what's
I
it
know.
called?
I know. Me. I know it's going to be a pidgin English.
It's going to be
I
pidgin
mean,
or native
a pidgin
language.
English radio station
Pidgin is bring
or
language
native
or native
language. It
language.
can't be an English speaking radio.
Yeah, you guys are absolutely right. Bond FM 92.5.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Funny enough, the hip and cool stations are just cool, but they don't get that
Yeah,
level of mileage.
yeah.
Yeah.
There are
Bond
VI
FM
stations, VI and Lekki stations.
92.5. So
Yeah, bro. See, now people when no day trenches, no, they know these things. Look at listen to the boss. Listen to the radio station the station that is on when you enter a danfo,
Yeah, early in the
or
morning.
like when you just see random people early in the morning, or you see random people just talking. You just or listen to the radio and just see the kind of people calling. Right? If you listen to like Beat FM, you see like cool guys calling. How many you know understand me? Or the Twitter group calling. But when you listen to like Wazobia, you listen to Brilla,
That's
you listen to
grassroots.
like bro, god damn. So yeah.
But back to this thing,
Bonds.
I think
Yeah.
what triggered this whole thing was the Charlie Boy
Idris.
interview. When
Yeah.
when he talked about the
Yeah.
Saint Idris thing, and Idris was pissed. Idris now got,
Yeah. That's why
yeah. First
Idris
of
now
all,
came on the show.
shout out to the Honest Bunch, because if you watch that
Yeah.
interview, they did their work first before they got
They
to
did.
that part that triggered this whole issue was at the end.
Yeah.
Idris narrated everything according to his own timeline of him
They
trying to.
follow they follow the timeline of, although they're not like really versed like in terms of music, like how all the sequence of events happened, but they like to
Hmm.
like really gradually build the conversation
Yeah,
from how you started
there
and
was a
stuff
tempo
like
to
that.
it. You could see
You
that.
remember there's a time where Idris want to say talk about something. The guy will say, "No, no, no. We are coming to that. We are coming to that." That's good interviewing.
Yeah, don't
Just to
rush it.
make everything balanced and sequenced. Yeah, I really like that for them
Yeah,
too.
it was a good one,
Yeah. Um, they did a good job. They did a good job. Granted, I think we were just music heads. I remember
Yeah,
Ace was in the
exactly.
group. Ace was
Yeah,
in the
he's
WhatsApp group and was like, "Man, these timelines are being messed up," and
exactly.
I
He was
felt it
complaining.
too.
Yeah,
You know, but like I said, watch the first 1 hour, and
yeah.
if you really enjoy it, and I put it on and I listened to it, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed
So I listened to the
the
whole thing.
yeah,
stories where
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know some of those stories because people who know Idris, because Idris has told some people those stories, so they've told me those stories.
yeah.
Like the one where he was trying to get Libya and all that. I've
Oh,
heard
that
some of
one
those
I know
stories.
that story well. That one
But
I know
like just
well,
meeting people and all that, it was really good to to hear somebody who came in the game over 20 years ago, right? 25 years ago in the game, and how things started back then. A lot of people, I mean, we were even privileged, right? Because we know some of these stories. So some people have no idea what this story is about,
bro.
and then they're listening to you for the first
There's
time.
some kids that
It's
don't
like
even
yeah,
know all
listening
these things
to
at all. There are a lot of them that don't
it's
know what.
like yeah, it's like listening to like a Tupac interview, and Tupac is telling you how he started with Digital Underground and
Mm-hmm.
etc etc. You're going to be you locked in. There have been interviews like that where we've shared amongst ourselves, like, whoa, this is the true backstory.
Yeah.
So it's good for people to talk. I want more people to talk
Oh
because if you don't
yes.
know where you're coming from, you don't know where you're going to. So it's good
Obiasika
for
said
people to learn.
something that we should allow all the OGs to talk, and from their different perspectives, we cannot find the common truth. We'll know which one is obviously. We'll know the ones that blend in and the ones that should be left out. So let people come out and
Which
tell that story.
which is right up his alley and which you've collaborated with him on. That's the
Yes.
format you take when you are trying to build a documentary. You just allow everybody to talk, and then you start to see the central truth
Yeah.
from what everybody says. Oh, I came in
yeah,
the room. What was the color of the room? Black. I was wearing leather pants. I slapped this guy. Oh no, you didn't slap this guy. You did this. What was the color of the room, guy? It was black. Central
yeah.
truth. The color of the room was
No
black.
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 That's confirmed
Yeah,
You
already.
understand?
That's confirmed.
Uh-huh. And then you
yeah,
start to circle and create Venn diagrams in
yeah,
everybody's
yeah,
stories. And the
Yeah.
bigger the Venn diagram is, you know that okay, these are the truths, these are the truths, and then you can then take a story and
Out of
form.
it.
And in
Yeah.
that part of the story, you can then add, there'll be additives to say, oh, this what this person said we can't confirm. This is what this person said
That
we
person
can't
said.
confirm. Yeah, for us, three of us, right? If we tell how like loose talk was originated, we'll say it from our perspectives. And
Oh yeah.
shout out to Chooks Odo, Faymaker. Shout out
Mm.
to Chooks because we had like a 2 hour conversation just about music and the origin of Nigerian music, Afrobeat, etc. And of course, our conversations delved into stuff that are more personal. But he said something that is very important. He said, if I get into a building and I go into 2 rooms, right? And I leave the building, I'm going to tell my story of how I got into 2 rooms and what I saw in those 2 rooms,
Yeah.
right? Someone down who was in the same building with you but entered the third room is going to have a different perspective,
Definitely.
right? So you can go, oh, I went into this room, there was no gold here. I went in the first room, second room, I left, no gold. Someone else is going to say, I entered the third room, there was gold. What are you talking about? And that
yeah.
is some of the things, those are some of the things we've seen in like all the interviews that have happened, right? They're just like different perspectives. Someone was here, someone was not there, etc, etc. But let's get into it. So Charlie Boy does the Honest Bond. Shout out to the Honest Bond, Nedu and the team. Love you guys.
Yeah.
And shout out to the whole Glitch family as well. I think since they launched, they've been very consistent. And you know how hard it is like to build a production house and be consistent with it.
Yeah.
So
It, yeah.
shout out to the Glitch family as well. Shout out to everybody there. So Charlie Boy does his interview, bounces. Idris comes because he wants to put out like a rebuttal, right? Does his backstory and puts out the rebuttal. Everything is still revolving around the whole um the show that happened, the Star Maga Jam show that happened, right? The
Mm-hmm.
real story that happened. Oh, they got into the plane, there was a fight, etc, etc. Someone took the footage, didn't let the footage come out. That's what Idris claims, right? And he's saying that Charlie Boy stabbed him in the back, went to use his footage, the footage to renegotiate and
Yeah.
get paid. Idris was blacklisted. One thing we know for sure is Idris was blacklisted
His
because
career was never the same.
after the 2004 Jaga Jaga album, a lot of
Yep.
things happened in 2004 for him. Idris was like a mega rise. Idris was the hottest, even after the whole Rugged Man dissing Idris and everything.
You see
It was in
Abangas?
the hip hop community. Let's not
That.
forget, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that he was
I was
rejected. Yeah,
watching DBN and Imal Goli. Shout out to Imal Goli. He had a show on Friday night.
no, it's not
Played
DBN.
Rugged Man's.
It's MBI Groovoids.
Sorry, Groove Voids, Minad
MBN.
Broadcasting International,
Yeah,
MBI.
yeah, MBI.
Yeah, I think. See why we need lead researcher. What you almost let me just go there. Lead
I'm sorry.
researcher.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Lead researcher
I'm
of
sorry.
four.
No vex. No, this is Lagos history now. I can't tell Lagos history when
What do you
Lagosians
mean
are
this is
here.
Lagos
Come on.
history? You were
Oh,
watching MPI in the
you want me
South
to
South
tell the
now. What
story of Oriental Brothers?
No. It wasn't popular. It
Okay.
wasn't popular. But
Minad
I knew we
Broadcasting
knew of it,
International.
but it wasn't something we were getting very well.
Thank you, Ayo. I almost got it there. Shout out to MBI, right? And he played Rugged Man's and then he played Idris's Okwasho, right? Back to back, and it was like, guys, you judge. So even in the heat of it, right, where Rugged Man and we thought Rugged Man was killing Idris was hot
In the
as
streets,
ever,
he
like
was. Yeah,
fire, right? So he drops Jaga Jaga. The thing happens with the plane and all that, gets blacklisted by the company. The company is controlling resources. You know how it is when you get blacklisted.
yeah,
At times, the blacklist does not even need to get to some people. They just see that somebody is not messing with you anymore. And
yeah.
people
I
just
mean, I know
because
just get involved.
now so the industry bill is very fickle. Today you are
Mm,
here, tomorrow you are
we are
not.
gone.
We've seen it happen, right? And then he also gets the attention of the president, who publicly, uh, you know, rebukes him. And I think that was also very bad for his career, right? Because nobody wants to touch who Obasanjo has said, your mama, your papa, jaga jaga, to be
Mm-hmm.
very honest. And we don't even know the backstory. There's a backstory of, him visiting Obasanjo, whatever. Remember the follow-up album? Remember the name of the follow-up album?
What was the name?
Which has like an iconic album cover, by the way. It's called Letter to Mr. President.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
He had left Kenny's music by then, and that was when he started La Cream.
Yeah, Lakin
And he then
Records.
dropped Letter to Mr. President, right? It was not a successful album. I'll give it to you guys straight up. They didn't have like the general thing Idris albums will have, which is like 2-3 banging singles,
Yeah.
2-3 mad videos, blah blah blah. It didn't have it. It was the follow-up album, which is The King is Back,
Mm-hmm.
that now had Kole Yinwo with Rugged Man and had Last Man Standing,
Yeah.
that he shot 2 videos for. So his career kind of nosedived after Jaga Jaga, and then you can see where that whole animosity for like the people who he thinks messed him up comes from. And I don't think he's let it go since then, because every other person around him kind of moved on to go and do greater things, whether it was like the Two Faces and co, the Tony Tetulas and co and everything, and he's just left in the mud. And he's just like, I worked for this thing and I did a lot for this thing and I'm not getting any recognition, right? But I think my own feedback to Idris, like first of all, and he said it on the Jimmy Jat album, the industry album. He said it. He said, "Once I was a king, now I'm a kingmaker." I think you've evolved. Like legends are legends, whether people want to agree or not. I feel like he's evolved past trying to, demand accolades from anybody.
Yeah.
Like it's written already, it's etched in the stone. You are a legend. You built this thing. We've talked about it hundreds of times on this pod. So I don't think you should get mad. I think I definitely know why a lot of like the older artists are, you know, they can feel a bit salty about a few things.
Yeah.
It's because the success of what is happening now, a lot of it was built on their backbones.
Yeah.
They toiled for most of these things. and they didn't reap some of the things that these guys are enjoying. And then we are in an industry where, sorry guys, again, because we do not have an infrastructure, there's no pipeline that can flow backwards to them.
Yeah, there's no structure.
You get
So,
all
so when Osage when Osage says pipeline, there's so many things like royalties, like yeah, publishing rights and stuff like
You
that.
going on tour
You know,
again, like a greatest hits tour. Imagine all the
stuff
guys in
like
the
that.
late
Yeah,
90s go on tour.
there's no structure for them to continually to earn money from what they have done.
Yeah,
You know, they made the money, they made the money. You know, but in America and other countries, what happens is that there's this thing that exists where no matter how bad it gets, you still be earning money. There's like a tour, there's something else. Like if Idris wants to tour this country now, say he wants to tour like a 500 venue event, like a 500, you know, 500 capacity event, right? The logistics for him to do it is so difficult. He might
just
even
bro,
lose
just
money doing it.
500, just
Just
500.
bro.
500. I'm just saying, just
It's
500. That's how
it's
insane it is for a country to have to
it's
be there, and we don't have that
yeah,
infrastructure for people to do things like that.
yeah.
In America, Busta Rhyme went on a world tour with 50 Cent like about 4 months ago, and you just imagine the kind of money he's going to make, and that's Busta Rhymes that has been an artist since 1991. You
1991.
know, yeah, you know, Run DMC, they still go on tour in America.
Very
You know,
well.
there's something called a Vegas residency that a washed up artists used to go. Like these are like the infrastructures that we keep talking about that we don't
Yeah,
have. You know, just to like to clarify that.
Yeah, and to add to that, right, it's very sad because beyond like the infrastructure and all that, there's also something we've mentioned on this podcast. Nigeria punishes you if you are not in demand.
yeah.
In fact, it's not even punished, they disregard you.
They throw
And
you
one of the
away.
yes, they throw you away. There's no reason why a brand cannot collaborate with Tony, Idris, Blackface, like any of the legacy artists from like
Yeah,
99 to 2004. Don't let us even start with them, the band, right? Just even those guys, right? If they say, oh, we want to go on a 20 city tour, there are people that are ready to listen to the music. There's like the
gladly,
audience, the
gladly.
older audience, right? But there's no brand that is even willing to take the chance. The brand is saying, man, just give me
The
Joe
hot
Boy.
boy.
Give
Give me
me,
the hot boy right
yeah,
now.
give me the hot boy because I want to reach like a certain demographic. Because again, the demographic in the country, the average
He's
age is what?
he's younger
19.
and he's younger and younger every day.
If the average age was 40 something, maybe the legacy artists would have an audience because the brands would feel like, okay, these are the people we're reaching out to. So those things, the market also determines what people want to consume.
Yeah,
If you
and
are going to any show now, the average age in the show is probably like 2021. I
deaf.
know 2021-year-old wants to listen to Shakomo. Sorry, they
Yeah,
don't know it.
they don't
And
know
they
it.
don't know it because the way radio also plays, right, is they also punish
What's hot in
legacy
demand?
artists.
Yeah,
You
and
understand what's going on. The market is not broad enough to take
It's
anything.
not big
Bro,
enough for everybody.
it's not broad
Yeah,
enough. People are still Lionel Richie's
yeah.
all night long is still playing on radio.
bro, Osagi,
Still the
Netflix just
jam.
dropped
Yeah.
a documentary on We Are the World. Do you know how
We
old
are the
We Are
yeah.
the World is, bro? And this is what kills us. The adverse effect of this thing where, oh, if you're not hot, you're discarded. We do not have continuous history. And that is why people will now come out and say, I agree with what this person is saying. Nobody paved the way for this kind of person.
Yeah,
Because you do
it's
not
broken.
know.
It's broken. Yes.
Yes, it's broken. Our history is fragmented because we are a very now people. What is hot now? Let's throw away this one, you know? And that is the problem,
Hmm.
you know? All these things as well.
This is also a lesson. This is also a lesson for like younger artists, like artists in demand right now. Just have smart people around you, right? Because I look at the guy who did the Afrobeat documentary, the lawyer, Tiwa is former lawyer or lawyer,
I,
what's his
I,
name?
Shania,
Shania. Shout out to
Ayo
bro
Shania,
Shania.
right? The reason
It's
why
not even
Shania
big
was
bro.
able to
Shout
do
out
that
to Uncle.
documentary, the reason why he was able to do that documentary because he was smart. He was documenting history, right?
yeah,
I could, you know, where's the video session for Jaga Jaga? Maybe recording video session, like stuff like this we can still put it together to bring to
People,
that's how
I'll
you
pay.
preserve a
I'll
legacy and still start earning money. But these guys didn't do that. They were not. I wouldn't say smart. They were doing music, so that they were really smart in that. But they needed other people around them to think in that
the
manner.
bigger
You know, to
context.
say what are we going to do to yeah in that concept. You know, so it's an advice for everybody. Always, like just have smart people around you, people who can
And
like really, really elevate what you are doing to another level.
yeah,
And yeah,
I'll pay top dollar to
mm,
watch the I'll pay top dollar to watch the production of Jaga Jaga. Top
Yes,
dollar, the studio sessions. I'll pay. I'll pay. Like
that's
if
gold
they put it up
content.
somewhere and there's a paywall and they say, oh, you have to pay this amount to watch this episode of how Idris's Jaga Jaga was made with Omololu in the studio. I will pay. Do you understand?
Yeah,
Nostalgia is the biggest draw.
Drug
just that
era.
era. 2022, like, what were you doing during my car? Your
Yeah.
trip to South Africa when you won the Channel Award. Like, where are these content?
Where
Like,
are
where
these
is this
moments?
content? Like, where are the
Are you
moments? These are
are
how
you
you preserve,
history?
your
And you
moments.
know the biggest issue with this thing now, it doesn't really affect music. Somebody said something on, I think it was on Twitter, TikTok or Twitter, and said Africans have a problem. If you meet an African today or a Nigerian, let's use Nigerian, tell me about your father. You will know your father now. You know your father's history. Tell me your grandfather's history. It's sketchy. Then start going further and further. Most Nigerians do not know beyond their grandparents. Did they, in America, you can say, oh, in 1605, these people's the same family came from Ireland and they settled in America, and they can trace that lineage down to who you are today. Many Nigerians, as we are, once it passes grandmother, grandfather, the family history becomes sketchy. We do not know who we
Yeah.
are. One of the things I did during COVID, right? I went to my mom's house. So we have photo albums of how my popsy back then, their marriage, introduction, family events, and I scanned them on my phone and I just uploaded it on Google Photos because that's family history there. Because the photos are already
That's
coming
very
green, they're Polaroid, so
yeah,
most of them are already green and you can't see it
yeah.
correctly.
That's smart. That's very
And I
smart.
just did that.
I missed the chance to interview my grandmom, who's 94, in a few days.
Yeah,
She's now getting old. It'll be hard to interview her. I missed the chance to do that like 10 years ago. I
ah,
should have just sat with her. She was born in 1918. She saw the Civil War, saw like
you
independence,
see, 4
everything.
years
I
after
should
the
have,
amalgamation,
yes, I should have just sat with her and just ask her all the questions and just give me lowdown of her own
I think I'll
perspective.
interview my mom too, self. So I will just keep this history somewhere so
You
that
should
their
actually,
great
and I would
grandchildren
interview
can
my mom.
hear
Yeah,
their voices. Say this is what your grandmother or your great grandmother sounds like.
fuck.
This is how in Nigeria we don't just think of these things.
Yeah. So yeah, documenting history is really, really, yeah, really, really important. Yeah. It gives you the avenue. Yeah, it gives you the avenue to earn money. It gives you the avenue to earn more money later in your life. It preserves your legacy, and when you preserve your legacy, when your legacy is fresh in the minds of people, people can easily monetize it. So brands can jump in. There's a reason why JJ Okocha is like the most in demand commercial star in this country because people still remember him. The clips are still there. People can.
It's
He's
well
easily
documented.
is well documented and is easily referenced, right? So why can't you be easily referenced with what you've done, the great things you've done in the past?
Yeah.
Like keep these things, and
Mm.
man, I'm tired of explaining, man.
You
Our
know,
You're
artists,
actually
our
right.
Nigerians, we have to do better. Not just pop culture,
yeah.
in politics, in education and stuff like
You
that.
know the
The
smartest
history
person
is
in the Nigerian music industry is Mode
who?
9. Mode 9
Yeah,
did a podcast and told his own life story. Simple as
that's
Mononine
it.
that.
documents.
Easily.
Mononine
There's
has been
no. He didn't go
documenting.
anywhere to catch clout. He just did it on his
Mode
own.
9 just say like if
Mononine,
you want to know me,
Mononine,
listen to this podcast.
Mononine documents. Mononine documents takes like he has been recording. There's a footage of him when they were recording the soundtrack to Hip Hop World Awards. I think
I remember
2008.
the
How
video
much you
shoot.
want it, right?
Video shoot.
So the video shoot. The song is Banky Kel and Mi,
Yeah.
right? Kemi and her brother shot the video. He's at the video shoot.
With a young
There's
whiskey.
Omaomi there,
Mm-hmm.
a young whiskey who is just blushing and smiling, right? And he put the video up and everything, and he has all that footage. Monan has taken a video from my former YouTube page, ripped it. I was at his album launch in 2010 for Da Vinci Mode,
Yeah.
and where he was performing a record, and I, recorded it with my small camera then and uploaded it. I don't even know where that video is. It's somewhere on YouTube, one of my YouTube pages. I was going through Mudnine's YouTube and I saw the footage.
Yeah.
He took the footage, cut it up and put it up. That's how serious he is with really documenting and keeping his legacy. Because how many of his peers have something, stuff like that?
Yeah.
Like you said, he did a whole, podcast called Popcorn, and you can check it out on YouTube page or, anywhere you get your
And guess
podcast.
what?
And
When I
then
was
did an album called Popcorn
yeah.
after the podcast dropped.
And guess what? When I was listening to that podcast and I saw the convergence of like the objective truth with what Terry the Rapman told me. Especially during the SWAT through days. He now just started merging. The time I started merging, I was like, aha, it is easy. Old heads, please, we are begging you. When it is time, when media houses reach out to you and want to do a correct interview on you about your life, it is not the best time for you to start running. Please. Your story is more important than it is because your story is a fragment of Nigerian music history and it is very, very important. King Sunny Ade, Ebenezer Obey are two vital legends that we have. I have not seen a conclusive, exhaustive interview, biopic, or documentary on these two men. God forbid now we hear that one of these men die. That history is gone. That history is gone. So please, man, anyhow we can use to document
That's
history.
when we start putting together haphazard
Uh,
tribute. I
yeah,
mean, come on.
I'm still watching the Defiant ones again, and I'm amazed at the footage they have in the Defiant ones. You see,
The first,
you see
the
Jan
first
Wu.
ever Dr. Dre Eminem video studio session.
Yeah.
It was on different ones. Like,
Yeah,
come on, man.
The footage they have from the Defiant ones is actually crazy. Because when
yeah.
I
It's
was
crazy.
watching
No
it,
way. It's actually crazy.
Dr. Dre is
It's,
DJing in '89 and there's
I
footage.
swear. There's
Yes,
And I'm
footage.
like,
Come on.
this is
Come
not
on,
mobile
bro.
phone. This is
bro.
camcorder,
The one that you even put
Eh.
for, bro.
the big one, you
Yeah.
know.
Man,
So
these guys are insane.
if you're a creative, right? We've talked about like if you're a creative, have somebody on your team just documenting because you don't know what
I don't know
tomorrow
how.
will bring.
Come
Look at
on,
the
man.
Kanye
Like,
interview.
Yeah, the Kaye doc.
Shout out to the guys who did it. The guys who they were able to put out that doc because they just recorded and gathered footage. They recorded
Bro.
everything. And the
You
best time to actually record for guys listening, right? Creatives listening, the best time to actually record is your start period,
mm-hmm,
not when you've made it.
you blew. Yeah.
Because that's what sells the story.
That's
That's
what's
what
the
sold the
story.
Kanye story,
Bro.
right?
Remember
Look at
last
the
dance?
Jordan. Look at that,
Bro.
bro.
It was
The
about the
last
last
dance.
season, but everybody had their own story. You go way back. Dennis Rodman, Scotty, MJ,
Footage.
everything
They
was there.
told them that for Jordan that I want to record this footage, and he kept the footage till that very moment. Then they sold it to Netflix.
Yeah.
Same thing with
that should be the best the best sports documentary I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's like
What do you guys think?
yeah, it is.
it. I haven't watched any that is better.
I can't think of anyone.
Bro.
Yeah,
You know why? Because we all know the outcome of that
Nothing.
documentary. The final shot. We all know.
Yeah, bro,
But the
that's why
build up.
that's documentary. Yeah,
But the build
the
up.
build up.
No. I read an article on Michael Jordan. It was a profile. And they profiled him up to his great great grandfather, who was a slave. The family that the Jordan family lives on right now, his parents, was he inherited from that guy. And they broke everything down. I'm like,
storytelling, guys.
if we don't know who we
Power of
are as
storytelling.
Nigerians, we cannot go forward. And that's the problem.
The power of storytelling.
Yeah.
All right, so we heard Idris talk.
Mm-hmm.
Then shout out to Eddie Montana.
And that was
Eddie
the heartbreaking
Montana.
one. That was the heartbreaking one for me.
Yeah, he came on Instagram Live with Dr. Freeze and he came to counter some of the things Idris said. We won't go to all the details. You guys can go and watch it. But
Yeah.
I was doing some Googling and, I read an interview in 2007 where Eddie Montana was 40. So he's about 57 now, right?
Yeah.
He's one of our greatest vocalists from that era.
Yeah.
And the funny thing, so you know what I went to do? I went back to listen to the Remedies album, the Peace Nigeria album, that's the 1998 album. I went to
Yeah.
listen to it. I went to listen to Eddie Montana's like solo albums as well. Do you know that this whole we would merge like Yankee beats and sound with Nigerian sound?
Mm.
It was there are like three people that are responsible for that thing.
Ooh.
There are a lot of people. Other people went on to do it too, but there are like
Mm.
three people that are responsible for it. First is Maintain. They were the
Mm.
gods of that.
Those were
Like,
straight jacking, man.
bro, I shared the Maintain album with you now. What's
Yeah,
the name
that
of the
first
album
album,
again?
yeah.
What's the name of the album
Let me
again?
for it. Something.
Anybody that wants Maintain first album, write us. We'll send it to you guys. Forgotten the name of Anyhow. That's the name
Yeah,
of the
anyhow.
album. 16 track album, right? Everything was Yankee beats, Yankee style, but we'll flip it and we'll flip it well. And they did it well. So they were the first set of people. Second person was Eddie Montana.
Yeah.
Eddie Montana knew how to take Yankee beats and everything and flip it. And he did it. They did it with Shaka Moore, obviously.
They be
They did it with a
jealous.
couple of
Doom,
other
doom,
records.
doom, doom, doom. They
You
be
understand?
jealous. Doom,
Bro,
doom, doom,
the
doom.
arrival
Of Eddie
of Eddie
Montana.
Montana. That beats, you know, that beat is a nice beat of
That's what
songs.
see.
Foxy Brown.
He not even just became a popular solo pop solo star. He could. Everybody knew
Yeah.
he could sing,
Dropped
and he
two
was
good albums,
yeah.
and all of that. So he came and had his own conversation. I just felt sad. He cried on it as well. He just talked about everything, and you could just see like how people
Wait,
were
he
taking
cried?
Yeah, he cried
yeah,
now. He shed tears.
yeah, yeah. You can just see how people were taking advantage of.
Him.
When you start something that isn't formed properly, right?
Yeah.
It's not like the financial space where you go and write a white paper and then everybody sticks by the rules and does it right. It's creative. Everything is random.
He's random.
Because you're creating, you're having fun creating, you don't know what will work, you're testing stuff out. And then
And
a
back
couple
then
of
they were
guys say,
really
oh,
testing stuff.
I have money, let's get this thing doing. Let's apply a lot of context. 97, 98. Your parents don't want you. Bro, you plait your hair. Plaiting your hair. I was watching the arrival of Eddie Montana, the video, and the guy had his hair like all back
No, that one,
plaited.
don't disown you. You did all back as a
Plaiting,
guy. Hmm.
what's the version of plaiting your hair now
Tattoo.
in 2024?
I
Oh.
think it's
Not tattoo.
No, tattoo is already mainstream.
hmm
So I don't even
What's the
know.
version of plaiting your hair now?
maybe cocaine.
Doing cocaine. Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
in Nigeria,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, in Nigeria.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
maybe doing cocaine. Yeah,
It can't be smoking weed because,
No, weed is now
no.
no weed is mainstream. The only thing that is remaining
I
now
used to,
is for the federal
I
government
used
to
to
stop
have that. You
weed.
remember you remember my joke now that if
Yes.
you
Your son
we parents now, we parents now, if it's we that our kids stopped that means we were very
oh,
we,
but
like
you tried.
we did a good
You are a
job.
great parent. You are a great parent.
Like great, like you did a fantastic 100/100 job.
you plait your hair in 97, 98. You are a throwaway child.
Yes, now you now have piercing again. Earring. Oh, forget it. They are carrying to the church. They are carrying to
Bro, I used to
that the jail.
I used to look at like young men wearing cap as cultists when I was like in primary
That was
school.
Nollywood. When
Bro,
you
Like
put the cap at the back. Oh my lord.
oh gosh, that means you are
Oh,
number one.
no, but yeah, bro, you don't go far.
I barbed my hair as punk one time, right? And my friend wanted to also cut his hair the same way. His mother told him that it's not the way of the Lord. They are devilish children.
Osage, you remember when you had double parting in your hair? Double parting.
Ah,
Just
of
one was
course.
wahala. Now
More,
double
more
parting.
blend.
More
Principal,
moral,
the
moral.
principal will come out
I'm
and
putting
talk
that.
about you.
I can remember. Okay, do you know how weird it is? I can remember the first time I saw a boy and a girl hugging. It looked like porn to me. Like
I,
like
I, I,
like
I get you.
they were on the streets and they met each other
They
for like
hugged.
they were my neighbors. Like they
Yes, now
hugged.
it felt like sex. It's like
And
watching blue
they
film.
hugged now just like they wasted like a little time, like 5 to 10 seconds still hugging.
It lingered.
It looked like they were just happy. It looked like I was watching porn, like I was disgusted.
We used to look at like when we were young. We used to look at our uncles like they weren't human somehow.
Yeah.
What they would wear, how they would move. Then someone was smoking a cigarette.
And you now wore shades. And now had cap again. Oh my lord.
The
Yeah,
moral
killer.
standards, and I'm using moral in air quotes.
Yeah,
The
moral in
moral
quotes. Yeah,
standard
Bro,
in Nigeria was wild.
Osage.
it was wild.
Guess what? Today you see a boy in primary 5 all back. In the go school.
All back.
All back in the
Straight
go
up.
school.
Not in private school, not in the happen. All back.
Bro, you dare not in my Corona primary school. All back. First of all, who is doing all back for a boy? Which salon is doing all back for a boy first? You will explain. You will not go meet your parents to let them know which devil entered you. They'll
And
cut
that's
your
why
hair.
a character like Ernesta Zuzu
Yeah.
was popular and viral, right? And because
Two guys.
he
And it's Azuzu and
he
JT
kind
Tom
of
West.
and JT Tom West, rest in peace, JT Tom
Yes,
West,
rest in peace, JT
because
Tom
they
West.
assume characters of people that were like an anomaly in the society.
Yes. Then baggies now came
Interesting.
again. You now wear baggies. Oh, your life is over. Baggies and Timberland. Oh no. This one is a son of perdition. He's a son of perdition.
you know. So all that is happening. You're trying to figure music out. The society has doesn't want you. Your parents say you should do this. You've gone out to do something better with your life. You've gone on to do music. Some people bring some contracts to sign because you might just have a big break. What do? You sign it.
You send it now.
You
Where are
don't
the
need any of the
options?
papers. You don't you sign it.
Where were the options?
There are no options. There are no deals on the table. And they give you whatever they can give you. And you just want to be an artist and you're all about the art and you want to be successful at it. But 20 years down the line, we can see the aftermath of that. The aftermath of it is crazy.
It's crazy, fam.
So Eddie Montana is done. Daddy Freeze is on the road, gets Tony Tetwila on. Tony Tetwila says his own side of the story as
Tetula
well.
came to his own house, safe.
Yeah, and said he first came to his own house, then later they continued the life,
With where
Then,
the manager.
yeah, then Freeze went and got Omololu. I don't know. Shout
Do
out to
you know how
Omololu.
random it is for you to bring out Molulu? Omolulu is one of the
No,
most, unless you know music. I'm not even saying if you're a
yeah,
peasant, oh. Unless you know Osagie, we know who Omololu is. Baby Tete
yes,
Wale. Oh,
yeah.
do you know what it means to bring Omololu out?
Go and get
Bro.
Omololu out is crazy. Like for Omololu to come
No, shout
out,
out to Carrie Freeze. If you are beefing, for him to bring
yeah,
Omololu out, bro, you know
yeah.
the music where.
He,
Nobody say they hear her
he
for
was he,
radio. You know how.
he was on the road. He
Yeah.
was on the road, and I saw Omololu, and it's good to see how Omololu is doing good. He was looking good and all that. So shout out to him. That's also another pioneer of the music game, and he was the one that actually started, well, not started, but part of people that pioneered the infusion of like hip hop music and Afrobeat. He was
Yeah.
like a big fan of it.
Yeah.
He produced Shakomo,
I think
and
it's
Shakomo is
because
basically,
he didn't have like a celebrity profile. So people, and that was the
Mhm.
era of OJB and Popley, who really
Yeah, it
dominated.
was Paul Play, Omololu, yeah, exactly, during
But
that
he
era.
was a very key guy too to it.
And so we move it on to like other series of interviews. I don't know if you guys are interested enough for us to discuss this, but like there was the interview with Soso. He came to add his own context there.
Yeah, if you want to
I know a
discuss
lot of
it, it's
people.
fine.
Yeah, I think a lot of people like look at Soso and just say, "Oh, who's Soso?" Like he's always with this person or that person. A lot of people have to put respect on Soso's name, right? I think it's important to not just acknowledge like the artist, but also acknowledge people who are in the background making things happen and brought Afrobeats to where it is today. So producers, sound engineers, the studio owners, the label execs, the managers, the show promoters, the show organizers, and so many other people that we can't even start to mention. But like Soso, is one of those kind of people, right? Instrumental in driving the KC Fresh culture that we know today, or brand. He was also a producer back then for them. Do you know Soso produced Bottom Belle? Flavor featuring Omami featuring Flavor. Yeah, also a producer. And so he gave his own backstory, and corroborated some of the stories or denied some of the things that happened, etc. etc. Anyways, then there was the Ikechukwu interview as well. I watched that as well. Um, not too similar, not too different from when we had him on the pod years ago. But obviously, there are a lot of things that have changed, and I'm sure he was willing to talk about some things he wasn't willing to talk about back then. So some very eye-opening things. You guys can go and watch it. And so moving on from that whole shebang, of course, there was also the Daddy Freeze Ikechukwu interview as well. He also did his own thing, a bit different, a bit similar from what we did back then. But obviously, things have changed, people have grown, so he had other things to say. You guys can go and check it out. It's on his YouTube page. Shout out Daddy Freeze again. Um, Ayo, you wanted to mention one interview.
Yeah, our bros, our triple OG in the game, Olumighty, Olumide Oyanda, veteran journalist, editor. He was actually in the plane doing the whole 50 Cent it is Wahala. And he had an
Wow.
interview. He invited Daddy Shoki onto his Instagram live and they spoke about the events of that day. So you guys, from another perspective now, so
Yeah.
you guys can go and listen to that. Daddy
So
Shoki has
what's the
always been central to
perspective?
many stories. I actually not listened to it. I saved it, but I'm not listening to it.
Okay, I'm definitely going to listen to it. Before we go
Yeah.
ahead, let's even give a quick shout out to the veteran journalist, media person, Olumide Inyoda, aka Olumighty. Shout out to you.
Almighty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like 1,000 Bosa. That's like an OG. That, when you
People
talk
that
about
paved the
paved
way
the
for
way,
What's
us.
this? He has a
Paved
he
the
yeah,
has a
way.
platform. He has a platform now. What's his platform?
You know
QED,
QED.
right?
Yeah, QED.
Yeah,
Okay,
QED.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, shout out to him. That's somebody who,
He's related.
when
He's
I
also
look at,
related to the legendary now.
yes,
All
yes,
right,
Yeah.
they're cousins.
our
Yeah,
cousins. Yeah. Come on,
I
man.
believe so. Yeah, come on, man. I don't let's even go into the.
No, no, let's not do that. Let's not do
Yeah,
that.
but like coming up when we started this whole media thing, Olumide Oda was someone who, once he knew who I was
Yeah,
very um
very supportive.
accommodating
Yeah,
and very supportive, and just generally a nice person to me.
yeah, yeah,
Because generally he's a fun guy.
yeah.
You could
He is
tell
a fun guy. He's a fun guy.
he's a fun guy, and so but you know what blew my mind one day? I think I was tweeting about Big, and he just tweeted back at me Biggie lyrics. Then I was like, "Are you,
Bro, he's a
because
hip hop head. Though. Don't play. Don't play,
he's
fam.
do you understand? I
Don't
didn't
play.
know. I didn't know. And he spat Biggie lyrics to me, and the thing blew my mind because I always look at you, probably just chilling. You know how you look at older people and you just feel like they were
Yeah.
never young, you know.
Yeah.
And so that's how I used to look at him. Maybe that's how my daughters look at me. And the guy just spat these Biggie lyrics, and it was just like, bro, I'm in my hip hop bag, oh. And that just made my day that day, and I can never forget that day. So shout out to him as well. So you guys go and check out his interview. Which other interviews rocked again? There was the one with Soso Sobericon. There was also that, shout out to Soso. He's
Interview
another
galore.
veteran.
Interview
That's another
galore.
veteran who has been there from day
Hey.
one. As a producer, he produced Flavors, Omami and Flavors Bottom Belle, produced for Casey Fresh back then. He's also been there. So shout out to everybody. Which other interviews? Did I miss any interviews?
Not that I know of yet. Let's wait. Let's see what this week has in store for us.
This week has Shei Law.
Oh, I am bracing myself.
Ah,
It's not yet out, but I'm bracing myself.
I'm definitely not going to listen.
I'm not listening because I've seen the
You
clips.
you will see the snippets now. You
I
can't
won't see
help
it.
it.
I'll
So
see it, but I won't play it.
I think I'll just watch like the first 5-10 minutes to know if okay they speak about his history in comedy and everything.
Yeah,
But if it is
that would
straight,
be nice.
shooting at the hip, I'm out, man, bro.
I'm sorry.
I think they
I
I
don't
think they
have 1 hour,
always
2 hours
do.
for sure.
Yeah, but I
It's
think they
not. It's not
always do like
happening.
a lot of backstories. Yeah. The interview I liked at the Honest Bunch, and we give them a lot of shout out here because we give people love, man. Something is good, something is good. Give them
Yeah.
their flowers. Is the Helen Paul episode. The Helen Paul episode, you guys into, is really good.
Of course, I watched
Where
it. I watched Helen Paul.
Yeah,
I
Aleppo
watched
is
Helen
dope.
oh,
Paul.
you
Yeah.
did.
I've told
Oh,
you my
100%.
Aleppo story.
I like her a lot now. So what
You
made me
guys,
watch? What made me watch it was after her session at the. There's this this church leadership event that she spoke, and she gave
okay.
a very wonderful speech, and that made me to go listen to her. I watched that interview. Really good. Yeah.
Oh,
So the
nice.
Honest Bunch, I've
Nice.
watched that. I've watched Alibaba and one other comedian. Then Eedris. I think I've seen 4 or 5 or so.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. And gradually they are shaping the culture.
Yeah.
That's how it
yeah,
is.
yeah,
That's how you do it. You just shape the culture by giving people a platform to talk, right? And the format is great because the format is expansive, is long enough is robust enough for people to really express themselves. I think that's one problem I always had with radio, where radio is built for, or optimized rather, for commercial production of everything, right?
yeah.
And because you have to roll in the ads, and because of the attention span, like with podcasts like this, you can really express yourselves and do what you want to do, and people can take their time to always come back. So the format, the medium and the format are always very important for things like that. There, you will never get an Idris interview like that on radio because they're not giving him more than the whole show is 30 minutes. Max,
Bro,
you get a 1 hour show,
you
he
Mm.
don't even
can't
want
speak
to.
for more than 20
You don't
minutes.
even give you this radio because anything can happen. So
No, even if there's no libel
yeah,
and
yeah.
there are no
Slander.
curse words, right? Or slander, right?
You can't move on more than
It's
30
still not,
minutes. Yeah,
20 minutes is still not enough.
it's not digging
Look at us.
enough.
We've done 1 hour and we feel like we've not even like expressed ourselves
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
I
true.
love the phone. I see like really good formats, man. Go for it.
Do you know
Go
that
for it.
Helen Paul? Side note:
Yeah.
Helen Paul is the voice you hear when you say, "Uncle, please tell
Let me
me
ask a
us a story."
story.
That's
Yes,
how.
P Square.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely. Guys, guys, let me tell you something that happened to me. You won't believe. Shall I tell you something that happened to me?
What?
Tell me, and I'll believe.
It was 3 a.m. I was doing some work. It was 3 a.m. I I was on Twitter, right? So I took a break. I was on Twitter, and I was on like one jobless boy's tweets came on the timeline, and I think he quoted something. I can't remember what he quoted, but he put the video of the video post he put up was P Square in the video of Danger,
Yeah.
right? So I was like, man, I just looked at it and I reminisced when the Danger album dropped. You know when the Danger album dropped, people didn't like the single drop Danger. You know how P Square roll out now?
Yeah,
When
yeah,
Yeah.
they're rolling out the single that day, the album that
yeah.
day, the
Album.
video that day.
Yeah.
Mm.
So the single then takes the lead, and then they start bringing out the other singles back to back. But like there's one main song they push out, right? For the Do Me album, it was Do Me. For the Game Over album, rather, it was Do Me. For the Get Squared album, it was Busybody, right? It was
Yeah.
Get Square.
yeah,
Yeah.
Busybody. No. It was Get Squared. Thank you,
No,
Steve.
guess close
You're right. It
first.
was Get Squared. Yeah, the one that sounded like to the left, to the
Yeah.
right.
Right.
You know. So I was
Fashion
listening to
lights.
Danger, and I remember. Stop that. I
Sorry.
remember fully well. I remember well that people didn't like Danger.
Yeah.
Bum, bum,
See
bum,
me, see
People didn't
wahala
like.
there.
People didn't like Danger.
Yeah.
People didn't like
I
it.
think there was even
Like.
more than one issue with that album because I remember as a new cat back then when I was in hip hop world, they had a press conference and they said they wanted to do this big show back home and they will bring Busta
Mm,
Rhymes. That never happened. It was part of the rollout of that album. So the thing
mm,
wasn't as flawless as the other albums.
Okay. Roll
Then
out.
a lot of
yeah.
older Nigerians were saying, why are they saying see me, Wahala? There's Wahala something good
Mm-hmm.
to say hey or
Yeah.
danger. So
Yeah.
people didn't really fuck with
I
that first single. People really didn't fuck with
Ayo,
that first single at all.
we need to put your you need to put your brain in like a national museum.
Now
You know, I
so
forgot that part. I
yeah,
knew that they didn't. I knew that they didn't like it from like a musical, like a sonic sound point. They didn't just like it.
yeah,
See me, see Wahala, and then see danger.
yeah,
People didn't like
danger.
that. But you are
So it's
right.
that
It was
danger
the
part that
Wahala thing.
yeah, that
Like
danger
you're
Wala thing is
actually
what
right.
people were pointing at. Like, what's that?
Yeah.
But like years down the line, the song became a hit. The song became a hit. Then I started listening to the album. And there's some tracks there, and I listen to it. I say, I love you" is on the album.
Yeah.
Throw away is on the album. Put your hands up in the air, in the air, throw away. There's break it, the one with frenzy.
Mm-hmm.
Danger, break it, right? There's possibility with Subaba. By possibility with Subaba, I'm like, this album is actually a dope ass album. By
It
the
is a
time it
dope
gets
ass
to
album.
Danger, right? By the time it gets to Danger, I'm like, nah, man, this album has to be competing with Game Over. I'm going to tell the guys. Then see, when Danger is done, guess what it goes to? Boom, 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 boom. We bring it back. Baba God, now your handwork, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
So
easy, yeah. I'm
Do
so
you
I
like,
know
think the
that? Do
album
you
nah,
has
guys
a
know that?
slow.
sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm like, nah, this album is better than Game Over. This is the number one album. I'm going to put it to these guys on the pod. So I listened to the whole album. They have that. Remember that? Give me that. I like it.
That
That's
Yeah. Yeah.
that's on it
Yeah. Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, this is the album. This
How do
album
you
is
listen
better
to
than
music
Game
in the
Over.
night? Is it a headphone or a speaker? I hope you're not
Headphones.
disturbing
speaker.
everybody at home.
No,
I had
no,
to buy a
headphones,
speaker.
Okay, it has
I
to be
had to go and buy a
headphones.
speaker.
So
Me, I went to go and buy a
no.
speaker.
me, I
So
bought a speaker.
I yeah no. At afternoon, my Echo Dots. Oh wow,
Ah, wow. Mine is a
that's a big
small one,
JBL.
but the bass is heavy, sir.
I'm good with this Echo Dot, but most times if I want to really listen to
You know why I
music,
like
I,
I think
speakers?
I bought it in
Sometimes
quotes.
our mixing here is not that good. So it's when you
yeah.
listen to a speaker, you now hear some elements that you didn't hear in your
Yeah.
earphones. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
let me
Yeah.
just get that.
Mm.
Yeah.
So I listened to it and I'm like, nah, Danger is better than Game Over. What was wrong with us? Like, what the hell is wrong with us?
I think
Hmm.
Right?
we already
Alright,
had
chill.
okay.
So I'm like, nah, Danger is better than Game Over. Like, we must have been ridiculous to keep saying P Square's Game Over is a better album. So Danger is 2009, Game Over is 2007. Then okay, I'm done with Danger. I'm like, okay, let me go, to Game Over to really just see why we think, let me argue, let me counter argue. And I play the first song.
Are you mad?
Car.
Then I just paused it and I said I must be stupid.
Do
That
you
was
know
it.
what?
I didn't even bother again.
Bro,
I didn't bother.
those opening keys, eh? They are, a 5-year-old child will tell you who has that song.
Yeah,
Bro, are
Do
you
you
joking?
understand?
yeah.
I didn't bro, I'm telling you, I didn't even bring it up in the group. I didn't bother. I just said to myself, you must be stupid. Game over.
And people don't appreciate them for longevity too. This guy had a hit like 3 years ago.
We
Reason,
underestimated them.
reason with me, like, bro,
Bro, do you know how many download streams that thing has? That Reason with
what?
Me record has.
Reason with me is a problem. It's a
Bro,
problem.
I now said let me play Game Over. Game Over gave us No One Be Like You.
Yeah,
Game Over gave
Game Over
us
is the best album.
Game Is Over. Game Over gave us
Game Over is the
Doom.
best album.
Game
Don't
Over
worry.
gave us Miss You Die. Game Over gave us Why Be Say.
Hmm.
Game Over gave us
Don't worry
More Than a
yourself.
Friend.
Don't bother yourself,
More
my
than a
brother.
See,
friend,
see,
friend,
bro,
friend.
how
Osagi,
do
don't
you
bother yourself. Game over.
can I
Osage,
say
you're not
something?
Game
talking
over is
to.
game over.
Can I just say something? How do
Yeah.
you go from I dey miss you die to Why You Be Say,
Car.
then More Than a Friend, then Am I Still That Special
Come
Man?
on
Man,
now. Come
man,
on
to
now.
the end.
Come on
So
now.
you're giving me four back to back. You like, I'm finished. Then the next thing, so and all those ones are like ballads, all of them, right? They are slow ballads, right?
Yeah.
Then you now take the tempo up and you give me Ifunaya.
Yeah.
You killed me.
I can't
Then
remember.
stand up.
I can't remember
Then
the
you now
era.
give me I like it. Roll
Yeah.
it. I was like, oh
I can't
no,
remember. I
no.
think Ayo, you guys will be in the best position to tell me critically how were P Square albums received, because from the way I was seeing it, I felt that they don't get their critical
So that's
acclaim.
a good
They
issue.
don't get their they don't get it. Like
That's a very good question.
yeah,
Because at that point, it felt like so P Square are very direct to their music.
yeah,
We are making pop records for mass consumption,
yeah.
right? And for critics, you might want
Simplified, very
something,
very simplified.
yeah, you might want something of more substance, like in their ilk. So I think apart from the second album and later the third album, I think it's from the Danger album. That's when people started saying, "These guys, I beg, I beg, I beg, I beg," you know. So back then, they didn't really get that much critical love like a Two-Face got, you know. It is now in retrospect, we now look back and like, these guys were doing the business. Now, why were we shouting?
Yeah,
They were in the business of making P Square ethos is we're in the business of making hits. Whatever is a hit, we push it out. They don't care how it's done. As long as we can get a hit, it's done. You know. So critics might be a little bit harsh on them, but
yeah.
at the end of the day, bro,
They still
going back in hindsight now,
time. Yeah,
I
time did them well.
I think
Yeah.
I think what Pitchfork does, where they reissue albums and now do reviews. I
Yes,
think
it's needed.
for P Square catalog, we need to do reviews back to it. To put
That's
them,
also a content format with reviews.
of course, now.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely,
We used to do it at
definitely,
Pulse now.
yeah.
yeah, we used to do,
So I
yeah,
might just even go and do. Oh, I'm picking up P Square's Game Over album, and let's talk
yeah,
about it.
Mhm.
Well,
yeah.
what made it
Yeah.
so important to that time in history? Because
Definitely, you need to add it to what you do in your
Yeah,
It's
in your
also
content.
it can also be it can also be a music in time episode.
oh, definitely, def.
Yeah,
You can have so many formats. You can have written
that's one
formats. You can have
information. Yeah,
podcast formats, Instagram reel
yeah.
Yeah,
formats.
yeah.
Yeah,
We've haven't we done the P Square album?
You
We've
guys have
not.
done
I
P
think we did
Square.
the. I think we
I
did the
can't
second
We've
one.
not.
I can't
We did the
remember.
second one. We did the second
We've
one.
not
The
done.
Game Over one.
No,
You guys did
no.
Game
We've not
Over.
done the P Square album. No,
Yeah,
we've
are
not
you
done
sure?
Game Over.
Oh, we need to
Guys,
do it.
I've never heard a P Square this thing on music in
I
time.
don't think we've done P Square.
Come on now.
That's very, very
Yeah,
surprising.
we need to, and because they
I
have
have
a
something to
very,
say I have something to say in my mind, but I'm not going to say it.
and because they have a
Then get the
very
fuck out of here.
get out here, Jerry, and
That's
because they have a very powerful
I beg you,
story.
guys. I begging you. That's why I don't want to say it.
I think
Because I
I
would do
might be wrong.
reputational damage on them if I say it.
I beg, keep quiet. P
Reputational
Square
damage.
was like the guys who came out from the outside Lagos block and
Yeah,
dominated the market.
dominated it.
Ha! And they
Like.
came and sold superstardom.
Ayo,
That is what they came to sell.
tell me about the guy that signed them.
Can I
So,
first? Can I first, before we go into that, can I first just talk about, like Ayo mentioned,
yeah.
just talk about that critical part of P Square?
Yeah, thank you. I need your
Yeah.
perspective.
So we all know the commercial part, boom, 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 right? Solid. Everybody respect. You didn't, like I said, nobody messed with them. Commercial part, they were so successful. TJ bought them cars. There was that whole story. Big boys. from the critical point of view, so back then the industry was very slowed down, and it was like what was happening in the US as well. To give you context, right? In 2001, in September, Jay Z drops the blueprint, right? And in the blueprint, he has takeover where this is Nas.
Yeah.
It took Nas 3 months to drop Stillmatic,
Um,
where he dropped Ether, where he disses
J.
Jay Z back, right? But you see, in that 3 months felt like 1 week.
Yeah.
Ages.
The industry was very much slowed down back then. That can't happen now. Someone drops a diss song for you in September. If you wait till December to drop the diss song, people will just take you as an unserious element, which is what happened. Which is just happened. Which was what happened between Drake and McMill.
Yeah.
Drake dropped, charged up. McMill didn't respond.
And I
Drake
dropped
gave
back
him
to
back to
back.
back. By the
Drake is a
time McMill wanted to
terrorist.
respond, it was yeah, it was over. So it was the same thing that was happening in the Nigerian music industry as well. When P Square dropped Get Squared, the last night is their debut album, which can be found on their streaming platforms because I don't think they own the rights to it.
Yeah.
It's owned by Timbuktu Records. Shout out to
Timbuktu.
um,
Yeah.
Late Howard,
the
late
late
Howard T.
Wait, Guess Square is
late
not on
Howard.
streaming platform.
Get Square is now. Get Square is
Like
the album.
the first album is not on streaming platforms.
Last
It's
night.
not.
Last night.
Ah.
Yeah. I know where to get it, Sha, but it's not. It's not.
Hmm.
Last night is not there. Where were you last night?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had Senorita as well.
So they were
That
in
was the
Timbuktu
album.
for just for one
And had
album.
had
Yeah.
Senorita.
Igbo
So I had
boys.
last night Senorita and
No.
Ibedu.
If they, but yeah, no
Ibedu.
wonder they made
Remember?
ridiculous amount of money.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Jude was like, we're
Yeah.
not splitting
So,
this in 4 ways. No.
so by the time they dropped Get Squared, which
Yeah.
had the record Get Squared, right, and it was like a watered down version of Usher's
Yeah.
um yeah,
Yeah.
basically, right? Which was the format in which was what was happening in the music industry then. Remember, take from Yankee,
Latch
break it
onto
down into your
American
own thing,
template and
and
just
make your
twist
own
it.
anthem, which worked, right? But the critics were like, "Oh, this is a Usher knockoff." Remember at that time, internet penetration had also happened in Nigeria. A lot of people now had watched the Usher video. It was on cable. More people had cable, so they started to make direct comparisons, even though the album was released a year later after Usher's year, right?
Yeah.
So all that was happening. So no matter what, remember, because the industry is so much slowed down back then, no matter what P Square did after that time, Busy Body remix, the record
Mm,
with Alaye, everything,
yeah. Yeah.
people you would hear people say, "Oh, those guys will be like Usher." The comedians will come on stage. It was a running joke,
Yeah.
right? And that joke ran even beyond Game Over dropping, even beyond Danger dropping,
You
right?
follow them. You follow them for a long
It
time.
followed them for a long time because the industry slowed down. But now that whole part is gone, and you can, like, they are now regarded as legends. And I think a lot of critics have even walked back some of the things they said back then, and the albums are critically acclaimed. You can
Yeah.
now see how difficult it is to make album. Bro, we literally just ran through Game Over and we didn't make any skip. How
Yeah.
many people can put out albums like this? So even the critics now are appreciating. There's a whole thing going on Twitter that music now has peaked in Nigeria and that there's nothing new. Everything is just trash. That's what people are saying, no,
Well, I don't believe that one,
right?
but anyway.
But you get my point. People are saying like
Yeah.
in 2024 it has peaked. People need
Yeah.
to that they need a refresh, right? People are now seeing how difficult it is to make an album like Game Over.
And do it consistently every 2 years.
Hmm.
Boom, boom, boom. They give it to you every 2 years. So that critics have walked back some of the things they said. And like you said, if they review their albums now, they are getting nothing less than 4/5.
Four.
All the
Steady.
albums.
Steady. 4 or 5.
Even what's the name of that? The
Double
the
double
the
something.
invasion. The invasion. No,
Yeah,
not
the
not
invasion.
Double Trouble. Invasion 2011, right?
Yeah, before the
Still
whole
a dope
wala.
album.
That's before
Yeah,
they started unraveling. Yeah.
yeah. The album that has Chop My Money. Chop My
Yeah.
Money as
You know the problem with that.
as
You know the problem with that one's
as
perception. You know the
mm.
problem with that perception of that
No,
album.
then Wiz and Davido don't
Then
come
Weezy
to
and
shake.
Davido already come. So it was
Yeah.
like, please, oh yeah, guys, it's done.
Yeah.
It's
They
our
still had
time.
some
It's our
good
time.
tracks there. They still had, some good tracks there, but by that time things don't they change.
It's on the change.
But I like the album. I love the album cover. They look like superstars. They look really good.
They're so
And then they did
superstar done.
yes, they did. I love Double Trouble as well. I love Double Trouble as well.
I think by that time I was already
Double,
demystified with like them unraveling. So
but Double Trouble still had at least 5 records again that went. Double Trouble is the one that had, what you call it, um, um, Alingo.
Alingo, yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, he had some
He had
bangers, oh.
he had some bangers.
But the
They will
funniest
give
one
you,
was that Ejajo, that School and the
Yeah.
Gang. Like I'm like, bro, this
yeah,
is too far. This is taking it too far now.
yeah,
That might be a
yeah,
bit too
yeah,
far.
yeah. Yeah, that was a bit too far. That was a bit too far. But yeah, I like Invasion. Invasion had chop my money.
Yeah.
You know.
So yeah,
Yeah. Shout out
Steve,
to,
you asked a
so that
question
was my that
about
was my that was
Timbuk
my
their
too.
P Square.
origins.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for people who
And why
don't
was it
know,
just one album?
so they were the winners of the Best in Ages Grab the
The
Mic
Benson and Hedges.
competition
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
2001. So it's basically like you doing winning Project Fame and you have a one album deal. And Timbuktu was the guy that had that whole P, right? He was the one that got the rights for that. So they released last night on his label in 2003, I believe. We did not do bad. They had some singles. People knew them. It's not
Which
as if P Square
singles?
just came out from the blues with the second album. People knew them already
Yeah. That first
because
album. That first album was yeah.
that video that Jimmy Jat was in, a
The
lot of
one they
Nigerians
danced.
comment. Yeah, a lot
Yes.
of Nigerians commented that choreography. Because until then, choreography in Nigerian music videos sucked. And for
Yeah.
these boys to come out and do it, they're like, okay. But what they now did was very amazing. They came to Lagos, sold their cars, recorded at Echo Real Mix Studio, which is what a very pricey analog studio, in case anybody
Yeah.
doesn't know.
Yeah.
And they bet on themselves, which was the hardest thing to do. And they dropped, my God, they dropped the second album and Omah. Things were never the same again.
Funny enough, Ayo,
Yeah.
last night is actually on streaming platforms. It's
Oh, it's
called
not about
Last Night
listening.
in bracket Reloaded, and the cover art is
Okay.
different.
So
I
maybe
I didn't
now,
see it because they changed the cover art. Do you remember the original cover? Do you remember the
yeah, I
original
guess
cover
so. Yeah,
of
yeah,
Last
yeah,
Night?
yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Tell me,
I'm not
tell
sure.
me, tell me. Yeah,
I can't
the
remember.
glasses, the
Yeah.
glasses, bro,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
the
P Square.
glasses. Guess what? I just did a Google and I saw it, and guess whose handle is on it?
Who? Yours.
Olumide Yoda.
Almighty in the building.
I swear that I put it in the group now. You can
P
check
Square
it
should
out.
have gotten
Last night.
national honors by now.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
should have gotten national
The
honors by now.
Oh.
what they have done for the industry. Look at this album cover now. Look at,
Hmm.
man. Give it to P
This is
Square, man.
interesting.
P Square.
Yeah.
Give it to P Square. Last night. Where were you last night? That was my jam. Oh. Then of course Senorita.
That's
I
a
had to
jam.
jam. Oh my god. Anyways, I think it is time for us to go to fan mail.
This was a music episode because that's
Man,
literally
that guy's
just the
going to
only
lose
thing
his
that
mind.
happened last week.
That guy's
Yeah.
going to lose his mind. That guy's going to lose.
It's going to be,
Like,
embrace
who
Nigerian
is
music.
on?
We promise you next week. Next week.
Next
I
week we'll
mean,
be
you want to talk
discussing forex and inflation.
about because last episode was just a full blown rant.
Yeah.
Yes.
Last 2 weeks.
We
Yeah,
can't be
man.
ranting about Nigeria all the time. We can't be ranting or else
We
we'll
talk
go
No, no,
about the
mad.
it's
Naira rate.
impossible.
Is that what we want to talk about? Should we talk about Naira rates? What should we
No,
talk
no, no,
about?
no. Anybody,
Let's
everybody
talk
should know
about
what
now.
Naira is saying now.
Let's talk about Naira rate. Let's talk because me. I don't just 7 people died because they were queuing for rice. Like all
Yeah,
these things are
if we
paining
start
me.
talking about it, we'll lose our minds again.
It's
So let's
paining
See,
me.
just
It's
yeah,
paining me. It's
we've
paining me.
already talked on this in the group already. So if to not say it again
yeah,
is double trauma,
No,
I beg.
yeah.
no. Podcast is different from group. All this group you are talking. Somebody is going to come and say they don't. They are not in the group now.
Oh yeah, that's
And they are,
true. That's true. That's true. Don't worry, we'll be back
you
to
know,
regular Nigerian woes next week.
because the things they pay me. Things just they pay me.
Osage
So
around
like
3 a.m. This Osage just send links. We'll not put paragraphs. Brrr. I'm like Osage, calm down. No in Nigeria, no kill you.
the thing they pay me. I want to read something talking about creativity and art because that's what we're just discussing now. Do we talk about music creativity or do we talk about what's happening? Jide Taiwo actually tweeted something that makes a lot of sense. He said, "With all the goings, with all the going ons in the country, my heart goes out to people who work in the culture. In normal time, the masses see our work as fringe, non-essential. Now, at the time of crisis, where does it lie? And it
Disposable.
says, and there's And there's the tendency to feel like you're betraying your people if you're complaining of inflation and you're talking about or talking music and the arts. But you are important. Your work is important. Contribute to the discourse if you feel like it. If you don't, then it's fine too. Don't just be stampeded one way or another. At the very worst, we are like the orchestra that played on until the Titanic sank.
For sure.
And it's very valid. Do you still talk about it's like do you still talk about like all the fun things and all the things you want to talk about, the art, the creatives and all that, while whatever is happening in Nigeria is happening?
Mm-hmm.
You have to, because things still go on, right? Like I
Yeah,
always say,
life goes on now.
life goes on, man. Every life goes on. So shout out to the Jide Taiwo. All right, I also wanted to um read out something else. Yes, I saw a tweet from a lady on Twitter who talked about, she tweeted on a day after Valentine's Day. How was Valentine's Day for you guys? We didn't even ask you. Oh, come on. I wasn't going to miss that. Ayo,
That's
let's start with you.
that's a
For the
pagan
love of
holiday.
Ayo.
That's a pagan holiday now. We don't celebrate paganism here now.
Steve, we need to do a show for Ayo called For the Love of Ayo,
Please
where
don't
Ayo goes on.
please don't
Ayo
turn
day
to
goes
Flavor
on.
Flav.
It
I
goes on
beg you, name
shows,
of God.
yeah. Okay.
Don't
Ayo,
turn
no,
to
not
Flavor
shows.
Flav.
Ayo, Ayo, every week, Ayo will go on a date with a different woman,
Sorry,
and
who is
then
sponsoring this date, first of all?
we can sponsor. Are you ready to do the
It's
show?
not a problem. It's not to eat. Free food everywhere. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
I,
I only
we
eat at
need to design
Seka
something
and
for you.
Slow and all those places. So I don't do Mama Puto. Seka, Slow, all those kind of joints. Now they go
Is
chop.
do you know where we're taking you? We're
Where?
No,
taking
no,
you to the
Okpa
place.
Emi will recommend some places for us.
Okpa me to the go Mama Puto. That's my problem, brother. If you just tell me say I go
No,
one year back place, no.
Okpeyemi Farmer King will collaborate with Sonolu, and they will take you to the place Sonolu said he will be distributing food.
No, 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 no. I don't want this entry, please. I don't want this entry. Thank you. Thank you.
That's where where your governor
Where
says
your
he will
governor is
do
going
it.
to share food, that's where you go.
No.
So
I
Okpeyemi will
support.
facilitate.
Okwayemi needs to do food. Okwayemi needs to do food critic about that food. He needs to critique that food. That food they want to share to Lagosians. Me will know as
Okpeyemi
they
don't
go.
go there. Oh. Okpeyemi, if you're listening to this, don't go there. Because if you go and talk your mind, I
Oh,
don't tell. So, so Iron needs to go out on the show, on every episode, right? Which drops every week on Tuesday evenings. You need to go on a
sorry, what's the
date.
age bracket of these women? That's critical.
Age bracket 18
Yes.
to 45.
No, I can't do 18. I'm sorry.
Okay,
There's a
20
show
to
that Leo
45.
Duval went for. There's a show that Leo Duval went for. If you are below
Yeah.
25, you just say get out. You just say get out. Left. So you
He
have
doesn't
to,
want any wahala.
if you're above 25, you now ask. Guess his second question.
What?
He said, "Do you like women?" That's his second question. Please, I can't do 18. Let's do it for 25. I don't want high blood
You
pressure.
can't you can't date a 20-year-old.
Oh, Osagie, that's stealing candy from me, baby. I beg. I cannot. I beg.
You can't
I
date a
beg.
20-year-old. I
I
mean,
beg.
Twitter people will even tell you, even for someone of
Fuck
your age,
Twitter.
you are dating a 20-year-old is
Fuck Twitter.
manipulation.
All of them are mad
That's
in
what,
Twitter. When they are queen,
that's,
Regina Daniels is married to someone that is in the 60s. All of them are mad. I can't just personally do it. Fuck Twitter. I don't care what Twitter says.
okay, so what's the age? What's the age? What's the age limit?
Let's do like 24. Late 24 plus. That you say, well, I'm 24
What
plus.
is 24
I'll be
plus?
25 in a few
Is
months.
that
I'll be
Jack Bauer's
25
new
in a few
show?
months.
Is that Jack Bauer's new show? 24 plus.
24 plus. Will be. I'll be 25 in a few months. That's what I want. Thank you.
Okay, so
Eh,
I'll be 25 minutes. So that's where you can. And what is the maximum?
maximum.
Yeah.
Maybe 30, 31. I don't know.
You can't
I
do
just said 24. He wants like a 24-year-old girl.
No,
minimum.
I said
Yes.
minimum. Minimum.
Oh, okay,
He said
okay,
Minimum.
okay.
24
No,
plus.
I think you
The
can
name of
raise your
Jack Bauer.
minimum to like 26. 24 is still too young for you.
Um,
26 is
okay.
good. 26 is good.
26, you're seeing the catchment area physically. You're seeing the
Yeah.
catchment area physically. So I understand. Maximum can do like 38, 39. Yes. I'll switch maximum higher.
Yeah.
Okay.
But 38, 39, that your body's banging,
Badi.
Thank you. Yeah,
Badi
bad deal.
38, 39. Yeah.
You see the tension of those 316 guests. No be some so 24 to 38, 39. I'm cool with that.
26. I
Okay,
thought we agreed 26.
Oh, sorry, 26.
Uh-huh.
26.
24 is just
26.
26.
26.
But Steve, why if he says he wants 24 plus, why
No,
are
no,
you
no, no. It
pushing it?
bothers like when they I'm just uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable with like like
I
super
understand what you're
young.
saying.
Yes, the
26.
dynamics is
26.
usually like really,
I
really
think by 26.
the perception of the dynamics is not there's no good PR to it.
No, no, no. If I have money, there's good PR. Please. If I have good money, if I have serious money, I have good PR. If I was a billionaire now, would anybody now
You
be
know why?
money?
You know why this money thing does not work
But
because
you're not a
because Leonardo
billionaire
DiCaprio
now.
has money and he still has that perception.
That's because it's in America. In Nigeria, bro, trust me.
No,
Trust me.
I want you to think like a global citizen. Stop thinking like you're just in Nigeria.
Okay, it's true, it's true, it's true,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
true,
yeah, yeah.
it's true. Anyway,
Okay.
26 to 39.
To
That
39.
13-year-old.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
That's good.
right now what I'm doing is, I'm asking you all these things.
Why?
I'm trying to do the casting already. So,
Yes, now.
make I just
Yeah.
do the casting. So, okay, complexion.
I'm an
Any
equal
complexion?
skin lover, black or light skin or in the middle. I'm down.
Yes, but you should not have both.
No, please do not have both. God bless you if you have both. They will not be with you, But I want,
Okay.
and it's follow come. If your light skin is follow come, please.
Is
I
it
don't
follow come? Is
want.
follow.
I don't want customized. Say they don't pan a bit on. Follow come. Thank
In
you.
fact, everything must be follow come.
Everything must be follow come. I'm vintage. As you know me. As I dey buy jersey,
Okay.
now so I want my woman. Vintage. Thank you. It's vintage.
All right. In terms of so we've done age, we've done complexion, ethnicity
It doesn't
or
matter.
tribe rather.
It does,
Tribe, any tribe.
that one doesn't matter. South African women are also equal, welcome to apply. Thank you. Especially South Africa. They have priority on the
Okay.
list.
Since we're doing global, US,
No, I don't
are
want
you
US.
also looking for? Are you looking
No,
for
I
African
don't.
women? Are you looking for African American? Are you looking for
No,
white,
no,
Caucasian,
no. I'm looking for
Latina?
Latina. Latina, yes.
I know. Say you go
So
there.
South Africa, Latina, home base.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh, base. That's it.
that's it. Thank you. I'm fine.
That's it. Okay. Um, does this person have to be working, or
Oh
can
yes,
this
you have
person
to be
be a
working.
student?
You must be paying tax. You must be complaining about tax. That the HR said they're increasing our taxes. Yes, we would need to
Steve,
be.
will you go and would you drop your phone?
No, I'm not. I'm not even looking at his phone.
We're,
I'm not
we're
looking at his
doing
phone.
something. We're developing a show here. And
I'm
you're
not.
not.
I
You're
wasn't
not.
looking at it. I wasn't even looking at the phone. To be very
Oh,
honest.
what are you now looking at? We're not looking at the phone.
I
Looking
was
at
just
this.
chilling. I was just lying down.
So is this
I was
thing not
listening to you
interesting
people.
to you?
It is now. I'm looking at you people. I am laughing at Ayo's descriptions now. I'm just
Okay,
laughing. I'm
for
just
home
waiting for
base
him.
can be from any part of the country, right?
Yeah. Any part of the country. I don't discriminate.
I'm surprised with
Tribeless
any
Okay,
unit.
part of the
so
country. Are you sure it's any part of the country that you're not? You don't
Any
want
part.
one?
Is
Do
there
you
any
want
bad
one
part
part
of the
of the country?
country? Is there any bad part of the country?
Do you want a wicked Igbo babe? Are you
Oh boy,
okay?
you see the Igbo babes where they did. I don't know the way they manufacture these Igbo babes now. They come stallion ready. Stallion ready. God
You
No,
damn.
you are,
no,
you are, you are
hands
cute.
down. They are. I can't explain it. You know, I went to
Uku,
the
you know they
east
call
in
Cute,
the
yeah.
I went
you
to
know they
the
call
east in
Uku.
December,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Steve,
what?
Steve, you know they call
What is
Uku
happening?
Benz. Uku G Wagon. Uku G Wagon. God damn.
But you have to have money because you have to buy transformer for
No.
one village first
Of course, I know that one.
at
I'm
the
the
right
minister of
You have
price.
to be light. Yeah.
I'm the minister of power there. I know I'll be the minister of power there. And I'll deliver.
So you are okay with a an Igbo wicked babe that will put you on your 10 toes.
Yes now. Because me too, I'm a Yoruba boy. I'll put you on 10 toes.
Okay.
Everybody will be standing on business.
Making wait to say mama no go sleep. You two no go sleep now. That's boss.
We are now. We are now.
In
We are.
Kenya, they were talking about Nigerian men in general. They're like how
Yeah.
Nigerian men are so romantic, like they take care of their women. That the only problem
Yeah.
is that they can do that to 10 women at once. and I told them that see, it's not a Nigerian man. It's one particular set of men. And the guys gonna say, are you talking about Yoruba demons? So the experts of Yoruba demons, right, have even traveled far to East Africa. You guys
Oduduwa will be
are goats, greatest of
Oduduwa
all
will be
time.
proud.
When they try.
Oduduwa will be proud.
Wow. All right. I think we can start
You didn't
working on
talk
casting
religion.
now.
You don't talk religion.
No, no, no.
No,
You're not.
me, I know
We know you can swing both ways now.
Who told you I can
you're
speak both ways?
open-minded.
Please, I beg you. He's just
Okay,
Christian. Please.
which religion do you want?
He's Christian. But your
Okay.
Christian must not belong to a Christian cult. You know your church if it's a Christian cult. I cannot do Christian cultism. I'm sorry. My daddy Gio say, you must be
Anywhere they call anybody daddy, you are not
anywhere they
doing.
call daddy. I'm your daddy now. I've said it. I'm your Gio. I'm your house pastor. I'm your guidance counselor. So please, thank
Everything.
I'm your Malay. I'm your ark.
I was everything.
All
Yeah.
right. Okay. We're getting closer. We can start working on casting now. And we can start developing the show.
Physical appearance is a bonus. Thank you.
Physical appearance is a bonus or is a must.
It's a must, Seth. It's a
Bro, I'm
must,
so
please.
I don't know, but I'm just so proud of I don't know, just because maybe I'm at that age now and I'm seeing it. I don't know how like me 30 to 40-year-old men used to look like.
Mm.
But what I'm seeing now is these people are standing on business. They're not
Omo,
letting go.
that's some mid
They are
that
not
30s range.
they're not letting go.
Omo,
They're
Yeah.
standing on
hmm,
business. Let me just put it
they're
like
starting a
that.
business.
Bro,
Omo,
Let me
guy.
let me say this to you. Let
yeah.
me say this. To you. They've always been standing on
They've always
business.
been
They're
standing.
just
I'm just seeing it because
Oh
you
yeah,
are
that's
now
it.
growing up.
yeah, they are the most beautiful set
Because
of
you're not
women.
there. Yeah,
They are the most
yeah,
beautiful set of women I've seen in my life. Like that 30 to
Yeah.
40. My God.
yeah, yeah,
Is
yeah.
another
Yeah.
type of beauty. Like I can't explain it.
When I was younger, I used to look at it and I was just like, man, wow.
It's true.
You
It's true.
know,
Now you said it. Now
yeah,
you said it. They've always been like that. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Standing on business.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, all right, let's get into these farm meals. For the
Alrighty.
love of Ayo, we will continue to develop the show and let you guys know.
Sure.
Thank
All
you.
right, this is from Gabriel, the digital artist. Hello, Loose Talk Giants.
What's up, Gaby?
This is Gabriel, the digital artist. No long talk here. I just want to mention that I got the money to buy another drawing tablet through the help of the good people of the internet. So if you guys listen to the previous episode, Gabriel, got his laptop and his drawing tablet stolen at home, and we reached out to him, and I mean we read his email and we put out his account number, and he's writing us back to tell us that the Giants came through for
You
him.
said good people of the internet. Internet is broad. Like, is it specific enough that it's giant? Are you sure?
O- Okay, let's keep reading the fan mail now.
Okay, fantastic. So you don't give me incomplete information next time.
I'm sorry, my researcher.
No, no problem. No problem.
Yeah. I also want to specially express my deepest appreciation to every Loose Talk listener that reached out to me and those that sent me money. Thank you so much for your support. I'm very grateful. May God bless and enrich every one of you abundantly.
Amen.
Lastly, thank you to thank you Osags and AOT2 for complimenting my work. It meant a lot. And thank you guys for reading my last fan mail. If you hadn't, I wouldn't have gotten the support from listeners. So shout out
Awesome.
to you guys. Until I write again, God bless. Shout out to the
Awesome.
Giants. You gotta shout out to the
You gotta
Giants. Tell the
shout out to the
Giants.
Giants, man.
Yeah, shout out to the Giants.
Too
Yeah,
good,
big
too good,
one, big one,
too
big
good,
one. Bro,
too
bro,
good,
bro, bro,
too
bro, bro,
good,
bro, bro, bro. Shout out to the Giants. This is what I
too
like to hear.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, coming through for Gabriel, the digital artist.
Yep, yep, yep,
Gabriel,
yep.
say you don't was fan at all. You was think be like say you know go draw.
Ah,
You
yeah, you see the
understand?
problem with Nigerians. That's why I don't like Nigeria.
Yeah.
I don't like when Nigerians help me. I don't seek help from Nigerians. I tell you. I know they like them. I say that. I know they like them.
They give
Because
one, they collect two.
they go won't kill you.
Oh God.
Oh god.
They
Oh
can
my
tell you
lord.
say Omo, see, have you seen somebody that you have not met at all in your life and you were successful at something and then they attach themselves to your success? Oh boy,
Yeah,
that 100 meters
thank
wey
you.
you run, say I dey pray for you. Say na me dey pray for you. Oh God.
Oh, good.
Oh my God. All right, this is from Ade. Ade says, congrats on the podcast. I came across you guys when the pod was a Paul show. I do enjoy the show. I was glad to come up, glad to come across the revamp. I learned from you and I enjoyed the show. I do disagree with some of your views, but all the same, respect your vigor. I have had urges to send an email in the past, but none more than listening to your failed state episode. You guys need to look at the world, view the problems in the world properly, evaluate and compare it to Nigeria, then critically review the state of Nigeria. If you did, you might find that with all the problems Nigeria has, it is far from a failed state. This
Yeah,
guy wants to go down the road that is going to annoy me.
I
yeah,
beg,
yeah, it's
please.
fine,
This
it's
is
fine,
a
it's fine,
triggering. That's
it's
a
fine.
triggering
It's not a
agenda.
failed
Like,
straight. It's not. We have to be patriotic and optimistic about our
Yeah.
country. Yeah, it's not a failed
Are you
state.
not
sure
Don't
all.
it's
worry.
not? Are you sure it's not Nuru that wrote this form?
It could be no.
It's
It
not a
could be
failed state.
Moonlight.
Maybe we were emotional when we said it, but it's not a failed state.
Yeah.
We have God, and God will help us to be.
Just pray and
A,
fast.
let's pray and fast. We'll be fine.
Shout out to Nuru. All right. Nigeria has
Shout out to
no,
Nuru.
like I'm giving a shout out. I'm giving a shout out. Like it's
The
part of
crazy
the
thing
people in our
is,
group.
the crazy thing is that it's Dio that will tell you
I
that.
can't just mention his name without giving him a shout out.
Okay,
That's
okay,
why.
shout out. Okay, don't worry, shout out.
It's
The
our
crazy thing
guy.
is, the crazy thing is that Dio will be the first person
It's
to say,
that I will
no,
tell him.
Dio
Anyway,
tells
shout out to
everybody.
Nuru. Yeah, shout out to Nuru. Nuru is my guy.
Yeah, yeah, no,
So shout
well,
out to Nuru. All right. Nigeria has security challenges, yet it's majorly secure. You see
yeah,
the
yeah, no,
problem?
wala, no, wala. It's not. It's God
No,
is
no, no.
securing us.
What
Yeah.
No, what we are going to do is we're going to do, how does I say it? A blow for blow what? A blow for
Account.
blow
I don't
breakdown.
like that. I don't the blow for blow thing. I don't. I've never liked it
That's what they
You
taught.
don't like
That's what they taught me
blow
in
for blow.
journalism. That's what they
because
taught
When
me in
you're saying
journalism.
and when you're
That's what they taught me
and
in
when you're doing
journalism.
the blow
Please.
what you're doing for the blow by blow or blow for blow, blow by blow, you have to dance like how Donald Trump dances.
a blow by
Everybody
blow
knows what I'm
account.
talking about.
I don't
A
go
blow
feel
by
loud.
blow.
Ayon knows how to
Uh,
speak some kind. If he wants to, some kind like a cake English. Like I'm like, bro, do you have a dictionary for this? But he's someone who
Bro,
has listened to.
Nigerian
He listened to a
journalism.
lot of news when he was growing up, so he uses. He has.
shout out to
Yeah.
shout out to my lecturer, Introduction to Journalism, Dr. Popola Unilag. You have to give us a blow by blow account of what transpired at the event. He never
Oh
failed
my
to use that
god.
word.
A blow by blow. Anyways, let's keep it going. All right. Nigeria has the security challenges, yet it's majorly secure. That's not true. That's not true. Like, you can't just say stuff like that. Like, you can't just say Nigeria has security challenges but majorly secure.
I want to
They
ask.
don't take that side.
I want to ask this guy a question. Do you think you like Nigeria more than us? Because people, people being 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 unrealistically optimistic about something is not does not it,
An indicator.
it's not an indicator that you love that thing. You don't
Yeah,
understand? Like
true.
you don't love Nigeria because people do like this always come to say I'm patriotic. We love Nigeria as much as you do, even more than you do. But I can never be delusional and say Nigeria is what did he say? It's mostly protected, or what did he say?
It said Nigeria has its security challenges, yet
Yeah.
it's majorly secure.
Majorly
It's not
secured.
Majorly
majorly
Listen,
secure.
majorly secured.
secure.
My friend EB went to his friend's house in Abuja on Friday, and he was coming back one around 12 a.m. He was attacked. He left his car and ran. They wanted to kidnap him. That's in the capital city. And he was saying, he was even explaining that he saw a car that the messages that they dragged the guy from, right? And he believes that they kidnapped that guy. This is in the heart of Abuja. It's not as if the guy is staying in one remote area in Abuja, right? You can't say things like this, bro. You can't say it. Do you know how many kidnap victims we've had in the last 6 months? Just 3 days ago, they killed people who went to deliver ransom. What the fuck are you talking about? Calm down now. Please continue his email.
Visit Southside Chicago, and you might think it's a third world country.
Oh,
You see what he's
wow.
done there? False equivalence.
Yeah, it's fine. I know him. I know him. It's fine. It's fine.
False equivalence, right?
Yeah.
Then it says Detroit and the likes are no different. These are
That's all.
false equivalents.
No,
Murder and kidnappings are a daily occurrence. Fact check me. The Mexico US border still has its daily illegal crossings. The Canada USA border has people crossing to seek asylum into Canada regularly.
Does this guy live in
India
Nigeria?
has, I doubt, maybe, I don't know. India has ethnic clashes and killings that are more similar, if not more than what's going on in parts of Nigeria.
all right.
Pakistan is worse.
Mm.
Mexico is 10 times more dangerous than Nigeria. Like you can't. Why are you saying that? Because you watched like El
You
Chapo.
know, I know this thing came out. What's his name? Blanco came out. So Griselda.
Okay. Um. Then it says, yet they are not labeled. Mexico is 10 times more dangerous than Nigeria. Yet not labeled the failed state. Why are you saying Mexico is 10 times more dangerous?
It's fine.
Anyways, in Mexico and Colombia, the army actually war with criminals and rebels. The UK is in recession. Inflation is high. Cost of living has risen all over the world. Nigeria is faring better than most African countries and some around the world.
That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true.
It's
That's
true.
true.
God. I
We're
don't
not
have
looking
the
at this
energy to
too.
even.
We're not looking
That's
at
true.
this too. We're
That's
just
true. It's fine. It's
unpatriotic
fine. It's
Nigerians.
fine. It's fine. We
I don't
can't
have the
blame
energy to worry.
we can't blame someone for being optimistic. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
We are
I
optimistic.
can't. I don't have the energy.
Yeah, it's
It
fine.
says do your research and fact check. Don't
Yeah.
jump on the whaling bandwagon and rubbish our dear country.
Well, sorry.
Yes, we
Mm,
have problems. Yes, we have
That's fine.
problems. Yeah, we have to do better. But failed
mm.
states, you lot are capping.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
sad thing
Yeah.
is that the sad thing is that you should know better because you have the ability to know better.
Mm.
Hmm.
Would you lot prefer the country to go bankrupt to keep subsiding the naira and fuel?
Did we ever say that?
Buy and encourage others to patronize Nigerian-made products. This is where I stop. I'm done.
So wait,
Sorry.
can you know what? Guy, reply us and
No,
just
it's
tell us
fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's
10
fine.
Nigerian
It's fine.
products that we should buy.
No, I don't like it. It's a buy and encourage others to patronize Nigerian-made products and services. It's when you guys talk like this, that's when I now understand the
It's a
dynamics
political
of.
talking point. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
yeah,
political
Mm.
talking point. It's fine.
Shout out to you for sending the mail. Though.
yeah.
He's
I'm just looking
definitely
for
an
it,
APC
but yeah,
supporter.
yeah. But like, love to you and thank you for listening to the podcast and keep listening.
Keep listening,
And
oh, of course, of course, of course. We don't agree with
um,
you, but we love you.
yeah,
And guess
it
what?
doesn't.
And guess what? We
What?
love Nigeria too, 100%. Like this country is still, is our future. So we can't just we don't wish it bad. We just analyze what we see and how we feel. We're emotional about it, and that's why we come here and rant about the state of the country. If we don't care about it, we won't come here and be talking about Nigeria. Okay? All right.
Thank you, my lead researcher. Let's keep it moving. This
Anytime.
is from
If
Anonymous.
you're in a good mood today, if you just calling me lead researcher, and I like it. Continue.
They
Pause.
said I should be patriotic, so I'm being patriotic to the podcast.
No, voila.
All right, this is from Anonymous. Osagie, Steve. See, Osagie is just one Z. Don't put like all these two Z's. These guys, why do you guys like messing up, man? Just it's one Z. Just Osagie now. Come on now. You put like three Z's. It looks like I'm sleeping. At least he didn't put Osas. You understand? Anyways, I'm just joking, just joking. Osagie, Steve, Dede, and AOT2, I hello. I love how you guys bring a variety of opinions to the discussion. Steve brings his perspective from the South South. Osagie, from time to time, drops hints about the North. Please confirm if you spend time in the North. No, I didn't. I didn't spend time in the North, mostly in the Southwest. But AOT2 sounds like a real Lagosian.
Thank you, man.
Anything outside Lagos is not really his business.
The greatest city in the
Any-
world. The
they
greatest city
can
in
Of
the
explain.
world.
course, Lagos is the greatest city in the world. Yeah.
What it says is the second worst place to live in, and the
That's their
last cities
business.
cannot.
Those
That's
people
like Osage, you're not
those,
patriotic now.
those people do not
I'm
know what
sorry,
they're talking
I'm sorry.
about.
Have
Chicago,
you seen
have you been to Chicago? Have you been to Detroit? What
have
are
you,
you saying?
have you seen the nightclubs we have in Lagos? Have you seen the nightclubs?
Have you been to Sunday at Ilashe?
I'm telling
Sunday
you.
at Lashe. And this week, Tinubu is coming to Lagos to come and launch the red metro line. Uh-uh. Uh-uh.
Shut down now. Shut
I'm
down.
Has,
sorry.
has Biden
I'm,
launched a new metro line in America in his last 4 years?
I'm sorry.
Biden,
Thank you.
Biden, the Chris. In get level.
Biden the
He
mad.
says, he says anything outside Lagos is really not his business. They can extend it to other southwest states at worst. Do you understand? At worst.
At
He
worst.
says, hope you guys are good. Please keep
Yeah.
me anonymous. Sorry, but I might touch on topics that have been covered in the past. I've been too lazy to write in.
Wow.
There was someone who sent an email about starting a podcast about Nigerian history. A great idea, but it will be most appreciated if you can avoid putting out the narrative of just one group in Nigeria. As a Yoruba person who was born and bred in the north, something I have noticed in the absence of opinions or POV of the northerners in the national
National.
media.
Yeah.
For example, topics like the first coup and the Biafra War, if we can all be open-minded to listen to opinions and POV from different parts of the country, then that might help us heal and move on as a nation. A lot of people have also listened to stories from their family kinsmen and formed an opinion about other people based on that perspective. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
does. It
it does,
does.
it
It
does,
does.
it does, it
Yeah.
does.
Like we talked about, right? Gather everybody's like thoughts and put everything together, and then you can build a story from it. I think as storytellers, it's important that when we want to shape a narrative, we don't shape it at the cost of another person's
Yeah,
tribe or life or whatever, right?
Yeah, that's
We have
true.
to do it from a principled point of view, which is let me present all the facts and tell a story from what has been
But I think
presented to
I
me.
think it's impossible in the real sense of the word. It's impossible to do that because biases and emotion play a part in storytelling, right? Like
yeah,
Yeah.
like let's take for example the Nigerian Civil War, right? I don't expect anybody to come and give a very very, how do I put it, a very very factual event of what happened, because
yeah.
the emotions during the war, people lost people lives, like people lost
Hmm.
uncles, fathers, mothers, like stuff like that. So when people are penning these stories, if you read There Was a Country, you could see what Achebe
Mm-hmm.
was feeling. Like you could sense what he felt about the whole war, about the war. So also
Yeah.
if you read the other part, so I think the best people to tell the story, the best people to believe in a story, and I don't want people to take this the wrong way, are people who are kind of like neutral, but who are there to experience it, right? The,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
the people who are neutral might lack some certain type of detailed nuances to what
Yeah,
happens. It's good that you read every part and just
extensively.
extensively and look at what the neutrals are saying and say, you know what, especially if you're not there, if you don't have any emotional attachment to it, or you want to understand what really happened, But I don't think storytelling can ever be free of opinion or bias. That's just how I
Yeah.
feel. Yeah.
I remember when I was young, my mother told me her own story of the Civil War. She was in Kano at the time.
Yeah.
The Yoruba, like
Wow.
our family was based in Kano at the time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and she gave me events leading up to the Civil War, how they saw it as a young person, and what happened during the Civil War when um because they were Yoruba, right? So some northerners wanted to come and enter the house and kill them. It was their Megad, who was also a northerner, that told them that no, these people are Yoruba, and how her family hid the Igbo houseboy when they were
Hmm.
killing, yeah, and they helped
Yeah.
him escape to the east. And when the war was over, he came back and came to thank them, that thank you for saving my life and all that
Yeah.
stuff. She also said that after the first coup, Igbo traders used to mock like the Hausa people there and say, "Look, your savior is dead." I think that was either the prime minister or I forgot one of them. Whether it's Tafa Balewa or the other guy. They used to mock
Yeah.
them and
Yeah.
say, "Oh, your savior is dead now. What will you people do?" and everything. And those was one of the key incidents in the north that led to that retaliation
I
to the civil
spiked
war.
the whole thing. Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
don't see those stories because there's a general narrative. So
Yeah.
yeah, and we're living in a country that's very multi-ethnic. To find
Yeah.
one objective truth is going to
Yep.
be very hard. It's going
Very,
to be
very.
very
It's
hard.
going to be tough.
Very,
Yeah.
It's going to be tough. We're
yeah.
seeing people right
For
now real
example, and
time
what
twist the truth.
and we and coming from where we come from, like Delta Ibu Asaba, which being our capital, we have a different sentiment about the Civil War too. That is separate from what
Yeah.
the Igbos think
Hmm.
and from what the Nigerians think.
Yeah.
Do you
Hmm.
get? Because we were
Yeah.
caught in the
Yeah.
middle, we were killed by boats, and we suffered from both. Like you understand what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. From both
so we
I
ends,
have a
understand. Yeah.
different perspective to it also.
which is not being
So
told.
it's
It's
which is
not
not
part of the
being
mainstream
told.
story.
It's not part of the
Yeah.
mainstream story. You know, the only mainstream story people go and tell is this massacre which the Nigerian soldier committed, but they
Yeah.
just because of the because and that's the only time they kind of like classify us as Igbo. But there's so many other things like our grandparents told us that happened also that changed our
Hmm.
perspective or that made us feel a type of way about being Igbo. That's why you see sometimes Delta Igbo people say, "Oh, I'm not Igbo, I'm Delta." You're like,
Yeah.
there's so many
Yeah.
cultural nuances to these things, right? That I
Yeah.
don't believe stories can be told without emotions, and anything that has emotions must be opinionated and must be biased.
Yeah,
must be sentimental. Yeah.
true.
Amazing, amazing. All right, let's keep it going. Second thing he's saying is, I was a supporter of Buhari, but he disappointed everyone who had faith in him. It's not everyone he disappointed, though. There are some people he did not disappoint.
But
You
some people,
understand? Some
he
people,
did the Lord's work. He did the Lord's
some
work.
You
people
want to
are
still give?
still
Do
on.
you want to give another shout out?
No,
No, we're
no,
not
no,
giving.
I can't.
Okay, okay,
But there
okay,
are people,
okay.
no, genuinely, there are people on social
No, I'm just
media
joking. I was just
who
joking.
still
Yeah.
hail Buhari, like they hail him. Yeah, so they don't feel like there was any. He disappointed them. So he disappointed. You don't say everyone, say you. You know. But I find it ridiculous that Tinubu and his followers try to distance themselves from Buhari's regime. These guys are from the same party. Tinubu had his people in Buhari's cabinet, and Tinubu was the APC national leader during Buhari's time. There is no way he can claim to not be involved and carried along in Buhari's decision-making process. They they can disagree on certain things, but fundamentally they were all involved. It's high time Nigerian politicians and their fanboys start taking responsibility and stop putting it on someone else. I disagree with what he's saying
I
here,
disagree. Oh.
right? Because someone in power is quite different from, or sorry, the political party's national chairman does not have an influence over the grand commander of the federation of the
Federal Republic.
GCF.
Yeah.
Thank you. The Grand Commander of the Federal Republic of the Federal Republic. These are two different offices, two different entities. There might be conversations and there might be some sort of influence, right? But in terms of like decision making process, you can't attribute it to like Tinubu because he was the party chairman. He's not the
Yeah.
president of the country. He's a party
Also,
chairman and
yeah.
he's doing his work as the party national leader.
Yeah.
And he
Also,
did it so well
yeah.
that he 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 made sure that what the political party
Won
are still in
twice.
power till today. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, let's not forget that APC was a merger of two parties, right? And we
Hmm.
all know that clearly. If you're studying politics during that time, when Buhari got in power, it was his own caucus that he put around him. As a matter of fact, during the first time, he sidelined Tinubu. It was when re-election was coming that he now came to Lagos, started launching projects, came for Tinubu's colloquium or something like that. So it's not as if Tinubu was like saying he was not part of them, but it was Buhari that purposely separated himself from the APC faction or Tinubu's faction of the APC. And that's why you see now that when Tinubu is now in power, it's like, bro, it's my boys that I'm bringing in. I don't know you niggas. I don't know you Buhari's boys. I don't know. So yeah, that's how it went. I don't think Tinubu had that much influence in Buhari's government.
I'm not sure. He was sidelined.
He was sidelined now.
Yeah.
And don't let us forget the infamous Emefiele policy that made
Yeah.
Nigerians start sleeping at the bank.
That targeted
That was targeted at him now.
him.
Yeah,
Reportedly. Yeah.
reportedly.
All right. The third thing he's talking about is I have a close relationship to someone that was in high civil service position, and all I can say is that Nigerian politicians will also set you up to take the fall for their corrupt practices and lack in knowledge. It
Yeah.
is high time we start thinking critically and not run along with any narrative that these guys or these people put in the media and want people to go along with. The fourth thing he's saying is this might be too late, but there was a guy who a while ago wanted to start a La Liga podcast. Could you link me up with him in person? I would love to be involved in this. I'm a fan of FC Barcelona and I am a big fan, NBA fan, OKC in particular. Um, so I'd love to be involved in discussions and conversations about these topics. I beg pardon my storytelling and punctuation or lack of punctuation. A science student I be. See, not taking responsibility. Not taking responsibility. Anyways, just joking. Yeah, I'll go through the emails and we'll link you guys up
Make
together.
the
All right,
connects.
all right, guys. There you have it. There you have it. Another episode of your favorite podcast. There you have it.
Yep.
Pray
And we're
for
done.
us. Pray for your country.
Hey,
Pray for so many things. Please pray for your country. Oh. Anywhere you are, support people. People are going through it in this country. Oh.
yeah, Def.
Please, oh. All right. Lead researcher, do you have anything to say? Lead researcher.
Lead
Lead
researcher is not
researcher is
leading.
lead researcher is struggling.